And welcome back, my most intrepid of adventurers. Last we left off, we found our group knee-deep in the shit, as they say. Our group having ran towards the Temple of Chantea in order to save the numerous villagers trapped inside, eventually found their way inside, and with the aid of a new ally, one Nebulon Centauri, they battled back the oncoming hordes of kobolds and cultists and locked themselves within the temple. Inside the temple, there was torture, there was drama, and all sorts of renegade emotions flying around. However, our group, thinking quick and acting quick before the oncoming horde began to swell once again, managed to take all of the villagers out over the back wall and hide them safely within the interesting basement of Bronze Barn. Our group then, hiding out inside, waited out the storm of the fires within Greenest. One Vilka and Rail sat in the hayloft and watched as a swarm of the raiders came to call, luckily finding nothing, but hearing some interesting conversations from one of the leaders. Our group then overheard one Langdedrosa Cyanrath, a cerulean blue half-dragon, who demanded that somebody leave Greenest Keep to come meet him in single combat. Our group, deciding against their better judgment to hold fast, watched as Castellan Escobar the Red, the Chamberlain of Greenest Keep, was slain in a single blow, before heading back to Greenest Keep to recover and regroup after the events of the night prior. Seeing the keep in shambles and the population vastly diminished, our group began to lick their wounds. Tense conversations were had, emotions bubbled over, before it all crescendoed in a beautiful moonlit ceremony, where our group said goodbye to their brief companion, Qyburn, as Nebulon completed the ritual to send his remains into the astral sea. Which is where we find ourselves now. As you all stand on the hill overlooking the shattered town of Greenest, the pale light of the moon washes over the landscape. You stand overlooking the valley, the grass beneath your feet bent with dew and ash, and for a moment there is a solemn silence as the final twinkles of starlight join the stars above. Below you all, the town lies in blackened husks, homes caved in or scorched to the foundation, chimneys standing like gravestones in the quiet. Smoke still coils lazily into the night sky, mingling with the stars, and the scent of soot and burnt wood lies heavy in the air. Somewhere in the ruins you hear a long, solemn However, in the center of the devastation, still staunch and forthright, scarred but unbroken, Greenest Keep stands, its ramparts pitted from the siege, its banners tattered, but its silhouette remaining defiant. You can see the few scattered torches flickering on the walls, the only signs of life in a town which once bustled with color and laughter. Each of you is lost in the weight of what you now see. Blood has dried in the seams of your armor, and smoke has seeped into every fold of cloth on your person. And as you stand over, what would you all like to do?
Still nighttime?
Still nighttime.
Okay. I think as Nebulon has dissipated the rest of the starlight, he's going to look towards the rest of the group. Would anyone like to say anything? I'm afraid I did not know this man. Kyburn was his name, correct?
Yes.
Well, I wish I could have known him. He seems to have done the right thing. I'm sorry, I've never actually managed to successfully complete a ritual of this scope before. I've only witnessed the Elder do this before in the sanctuary. Long story. I may need to dissipate some of the starlight. I may need you to actually back away. It's
Oh.
Yes, I don't want you turning into starlight. It's not healthy for anyone. I'll start to quickly sort of break some of the circles in the mud that I've made from some of the star dust that I've left behind. And as you do,
Nebulon, you do start to feel the magic become slightly unstable in your hands. What was once a very gentle stream of starlight begins to sort of crackle, and as you go around and sort of kick the circle and break it in place, you watch as all of a sudden there's a flash of light, and it fades to embers. And you breathe a sigh of relief and disappointment.
Well, you sort of see Nebulon looking a little concerned, almost. He's looking like it's almost like he's done something too much, that he knows he's overstepped the boundary, or he would have at a certain point in time in his life, as he sort of looks around and. Right. I'm sorry. It's been a long day. I'm going to go
okay?
take my rest. I'm fine. It's that ritual took quite a bit out of me.
Oh.
And I'll sort of try to.
As if the day hasn't taken enough out of us already, I guess. But thank you.
I bid you all
doing
farewell.
this.
Of course, it is my pleasure. If anyone wants to chat to me before I begin my meditations, I'll be on the roof of the tower of the keep.
Cool. Is there anything anyone would like to do before you all begin to make your way back towards Greenest Keep?
I'll just
Quell's
do a little
just
prayer.
over the kind of funeral part. Quell's going to cast Minor Illusion, and a magical outline of Kyburn's kind of plague mask floats up and then kind of dissipates as well. And Quell's just going to say, a brave one, but a warning to us all. And
Incredible.
Just kind of look down solemnly.
And you all slowly begin to trudge back towards Greenest
I'd
Keep.
like to
Go
do a
on, Serena.
little prayer.
Of course, roll a religion check for me.
Well, I was just gonna say words, but
Also say the words.
I'll roll first and then I'll say the words. Let's do it like that. Oh no, that's a 9.
And what do you say?
Okay, well, I just wanted to say, Bahamut, please guide this soul now and bring him to a place with no burdens and with no need for masks anymore. And then I'll close my eyes. And...
As you all solemnly make your way back towards Greenest Keep, Nebulon, you make your way to the roof, your telescope and your bedroll still in place.
Just gonna
You spend some time.
Yeah, navigating the stars a little bit there, just having a little peek.
Cool. And as you all make your way back up to the top floor of Greenest Keep and the makeshift barracks that's been made in what was previously Governor Nighthill's private quarters, Rail, as you're walking, a figure on the parapets catches your attention. Solitary, looking out over the town. You can see her long, flowing blonde hair matted with blood, smoke rising from each exhale. You see Sienna's just kind of looking out over the town, quietly alone.
I'll be back, guys. I'm gonna go and have a conversation with one of the other guards here from Greenest. I'll be back shortly, and I'll make my way over.
You soon.
Take your time.
And I'll climb the parapets, and I'll go and sit down next to her.
You see she doesn't acknowledge you. Just continues to take a deep draw on a hand-rolled cigarette.
It's a mess, huh?
It's one word for it. Tell me this. Was it quick?
As fast as it could have been.
The governor has asked me to ride to Bear Dusk tomorrow.
Bear Dusk, huh? More supplies or...
Aid, refugees, soldiers, all of the above.
as many things together as possible. That makes sense.
I'm not going.
You're not going. What have you got in mind, sir?
Clark always talked about getting out of this town one day. Leaving it all behind and starting new somewhere. I think he was thinking about Waterdeep or Neverwinter, maybe. Someplace far away.
Neverwinter's a good place to some extent. There's a lot of things going on there, but if they were to have someone like you, I think they'd be better off for it. But doesn't this just feel like running away?
That's why I'm not going to any of the places Clark wanted to go. You see, she turns and looks over towards the jagged Sunset Mountains to the northeast. A dark fortress. The Black Citadel.
And what would you gain from that?
They say Darkhold has the greatest military force this side of Arm.
And you want to use that to fight against these invaders?
I'll say this, Rail. You would know that Darkhold, it's a few days northeast of where you are. It's a ancient dark castle in the mountains, and it's also famously the headquarters of the Zentarim.
Right. So you're going to lay down your post in order to go to the Zentarim, of all people?
Say what you want about the Black Network, Rail. They get shit done.
They do, but right now you have orders. And those orders are to get things done. Why not?
Orders from who, Rail? The governor of a town that's just lost 3/4 of its population? Would you call this a town? You see, she ushers out to the ruins of Greenest.
The remnants of. Even more reason to do something to help it. Otherwise, the people that are left who are under your care will perish. Yes, we couldn't save everyone. But shouldn't that effort go into the people we have saved? I learned this lesson just recently.
Best thing anybody in this town could do now is to get as far away from here as possible.
If this is your goal, at least tell the governor so that he can send someone in your stead.
Rail, what's wrong with you?
Me?
You were right. Everything you said all this time, you were right. Maybe if we had built a wall, we could have slowed the raiders, we could have fought them back. And yet, you've no desire to gloat. You've no desire to preach of your vindication. You just carry on like the good little soldier you are. What did they do to you in Neverwinter? When did you lose any sense of self? Any sense of respect? Because you sure as shit don't have any kind of a spine anymore.
Is that what you want from me? To gloat? To say yes if you...
I want you to do something, Rail!
Well, what can I do?
Anything!
I'm one man. Which you and everyone has told me since I've been here. And as one man, I'm trying to defend what we have left. Trying to make things okay for these people who matter. If you're turning your back on them to go to the Dark Citadel, that's not my problem. That's your boon, and you will live with it.
You see, she flicks the cigarette off of the parapets. Stands up. Ever the soldier. And walks away.
I just stand there looking over the looking over the ruins of Greenest, and the fact that her words resonate with me hurts me to my core. In Rail's mind, yes, he's a soldier, but with everything that's happened to him before, he does doubt sometimes the orders that are given to him, and wishes that he could react in a way that, you know, his old companion once did, but
It's at that point you feel heat on your hip. Magnetic
check around
attraction.
to see if anyone's
Roll a
looking.
perception check for me.
It's a 16 plus 4, dirty 20.
Nebulon's on the parapet, the other side of the keep. He looks like he's looking up at the stars, unconcerned. Other than that, you're alone.
With the drawer from my pocket, I'll go and reach in, and I'll bring it up in front of me, still wrapped within the cloth. And I'll open it and I'll take a peek.
As you do, the perfectly polished statuette. Now that you're really looking at it, the detail on this is phenomenal. It's greater than anything even the master craftsman in the jewelry quarter of Neverwinter could make.
Interesting.
It is beautiful.
And with its beauty, I will reach out and I will lay a hand on it.
As you do, you can feel the warmth. Not distracting, not abrasive, comforting. Like the embrace of a mother or father as a young child. Like the embrace of a lover.
And I turn
And
to
you
it.
feel this sense of glee, pleasure, just wash over you.
I heard you once. Anything to say?
Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Ooh.
That is a. That's a 7.
Mm.
There's no words. There's no verbosity to it. Just feeling, for a brief moment, white hot rage. But it simmers and it calms. You're already on the right path. You don't need me yet. But you will.
Need you? Who are you?
Silence.
Well, from the reaction that you've just done, it looks like we have a similar stance on things. Being angry and letting it simmer out, not letting it completely overtake your mind. It's part of being a soldier. We can be angry, but we be angry on behalf of the people. If you're here to help me, help me. If you're not, stay on my way.
Glee. Pleasure. Happiness. No words. But a chuckle.
And on that note, I will wrap it back up and place it back in my pocket.
Incredible.
Wrap it up, guys.
Is there
Okay.
anything else you would like to do, Rael, before you head to bed for the night?
I'm going to take a look around the fort and just see if there's anyone, kids maybe, that look like they need some support. Obviously there'll be a lot, but
So,
in
as you,
particular-
as you make the rounds, as you're sort of moving towards the late hours of the evening, most of the children have been sort of like contained to the basement keep. As you sort of like head down there, you can see a lot of the wounded, a lot of the elderly, and a lot of the young are all sort of there. You can see who you would recognize, Rael, as Sister Cyndia, the priestess of Chauntea, whom you rescued from the temple the previous night. You can see that she's pretty much the only person awake right now, and she's going sort of bed to bed by candlelight, just sort of checking everybody's wounds. Every now and again, you see flickers of this sort of like emerald green magic coming from her hands. You can see she has these heavy bags under her eyes, her hands sort of trembling as she's trying to cast, and it's tiny little sparks now.
Are you struggling, sister?
It's been a long day, that's all.
It has.
It's not a lot of healing capabilities in the town. It's myself and your friend, pretty much, and well, and you see she sort of like turns over, and you can see that Serena's sort of in the corner on one of the beds, and you can see that she's kind of half awake, I'm guessing. Serena, do correct me if I'm wrong, with like 3 children, Cuff and Linen, sort of like children, sort of like tucked in with her, and you can see Leor sort of like wrapped around one of the children.
Aw.
Just a quick look around. Are there any emergency blankets or anything, or that?
You see she sort of turns to you and goes, there's a few in the dungeons, but pretty much everything's been taken already.
Is there anything that I can bring up for you that would be of use?
I don't know, unless you've got a secret stash of healing potions anywhere. I think we've done all we can.
Okay.
We'll have to see who makes it through the night. That's all we can do at the moment, until help comes.
If issues through the night, do feel free to wake me up.
Of course.
We're going to be going away tomorrow.
I heard. You're going to find them, aren't you?
I touch the idol in my pocket and I go, not so much as find them as break them. They'll pay for what they've done here.
You see she sort of hesitates at that. I don't condone violence or aggression. But you and the others who are new to town were very good to us this night. So,
I'm sorry we
if nothing
couldn't have done
else,
better.
you did all you could. May the Earth Mother smile on you.
And to that I'll do my courtly bow.
Cool. Anything else from you, Rail?
I am going to go down into the basement. I'm going to get as many spare blankets as I can. I'm going to bring one up for the sister, and then I'll wrap the other around Serena and the children. And
Cool.
then I will head off to find a more of a
Quiet
lonesome
spot to sleep.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would like to grab Rail before he leaves.
Cool.
I'll just leave the children and be like, I'll be right back. Just a moment. Can I talk to you?
Of course.
I'll just like to go somewhere with less ears, perhaps. But it's not like super
So you-
secret or anything. Just
Alright.
Let's say you sort of take a stroll into like the back corner of the dungeons, which are still fairly empty at this time.
I don't want to question you in front of others, because I trust you, and I trust that you had a good reason, but why did you lie about, like, the statue when we were talking to Nessun?
Nessun.
Nessun.
With all of the events that have just happened in Greenest, and with the events that happened to me prior in Neverwinter, some things have a time and place to be revealed. As much as I did want to say, I don't know them and I don't trust them. You guys, everyone that we are with fought along beside me. You have earned my trust through blood, through fighting for the people. I don't know this person. Heck, I could have handed this over to them, and the next thing we know, we've got another dragon that's decided to come back because I have this. I don't know what it is. I don't know where it belongs, and I don't know who to trust with it just yet. So right now, I'm just going to hold on to it until.
I'm not blaming you.
No, I appreciate that, but
I just want to say I'll follow along with whatever you choose to do. From what I've seen, you're someone who really cares, so I trust you. Do you think we should not trust this other person?
I don't see any reason not to, but I have no full reason to trust them. They were holding things back from me, so I thought I would do the same, just out of what I've learned through growing up. But one thing I will say is, if I don't seem myself or like me, give me a nudge, and by give me a nudge, give me a hard nudge.
Okay, like physically, like punching?
Yes, physically, give me a good battering, because whatever this thing is,
I'm very weak.
that's why I'm asking
But
you
okay.
to do it. It's not going to hurt that bad.
Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Or you
doesn't
could
it?
ask.
I'll ask Vilka.
Oh,
Okay, no.
if Vilka hits me, I'm going to know about it 3 days later. So yeah, okay. Ask Vilka. Ask Vilka.
Well, we can all do it together. No,
Absolutely.
is that weird? I don't know.
No, but
Anyways,
what I will say about this thing, it's very strange. There's something off about
what?
it.
Oh, the statue?
Yeah, it right
You
now
think
it
there's something wrong
feels.
with it?
I don't know if there's something wrong, but there's something I don't know. There's something to it that's just unknown. It's indescribable, but
It's not just a statue.
I don't know. Is the only way to explain it. It's just very. There's something I don't know if it's some kind of force or something, but it's not safe. Which is
Okay.
why I'm holding on to it, because
But
We've
you
been-
matter too. We also want you to be safe.
that's why I'm telling you to give me a battering if I'm not.
Okay. Well, do you want me to take a look at it at some point? If it's religious in any way, if it's evil, I can probably figure that out.
Okay, I'll go to pull it from my pocket in that case. Do I need to make a
You do?
save? Yeah.
Nope.
And
okay.
and I'll say this to you, Serena. Just don't touch it if you can.
Okay.
And then
Is it still in his hand?
I'm just
I'll
pulling it
just-
open and I'm just revealing the item.
Can I? Okay, DM question.
Yes.
Did we level up to level 3 during the night? I think you said, but do we? Because
Yes.
I already leveled up to level 3 on my character sheet. So
No, that's fine.
wait, so are we level 3 or not? Because
You are
I don't know
level
if I have a
3,
spell.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, can I do detect good and evil then?
Absolutely.
You absolutely can. So I'll say this. As you sort of like place your hand, you grab your symbol to Bahamut.
It's on my earring,
hold-
actually.
You hold your earring in place and you watch as it twinkles with a platinum light rail. You see these sort of like wisps of white light begin to come from Serena's fingertips as they sort of like curl around the figurine. Immediately, the white tendrils of light upon physical contact turn black and rotted.
Bro.
This is a very, very, very evil artifact, Serena.
Oh my god. Do I have any religious experience with what we do with evil things in the temples somewhere?
Do you think it's something that you would have ever done with your master?
No.
Probably not.
I was just thinking maybe my family has come across some stuff before where it's like, okay,
You've
we
heard
gotta
that.
figure out
I'll
how
say this.
to-
You've probably heard them like during some kind of grand adventures or something like that they've been on. They have discussed like, oh, we need to take this super crazy thing that we found down to the temple to get it destroyed by a priest.
Okay, so they get them destroyed by a priest. That's all I need to know.
Yes.
Real, I think we should have this destroyed by a priest.
As soon as
This is
hearing
very
that,
evil.
Rail immediately covers it over. It's evil.
Yes, we should get it destroyed,
Destroy.
or at least figure out what it does, but we shouldn't carry it,
Destroy.
I think.
I don't think we
But-
should destroy this.
What do you think it'll do?
There is bound to be someone out there who is able to shed more light on this phenomenon. By the sounds of it, the Harpers themselves must be after these. If the Harpers are to be trusted, which I don't see any severe problems with that so far, but if it's going anywhere, I'd like to hand deliver it to one of the higher echelons of their group.
I mean, if anyone has to have it, I wouldn't mind that it's you, but I'm worried that, what if it can corrupt or something like that?
Oh, that's why I asked
We-
you to watch
we
out
need
for
you.
me. I don't know why, but I had
We
the
need
feeling
you.
that if it's going to happen, then at least I can trust you guys to stop me. So,
Okay, well,
we know that it's evil
I
now,
mean,
which is not great, as I look back to it. So, let's get rid of it as soon as possible. Let's try and find a place where we can... And I'll just stop mid-sentence as to think, do I really want to do this? But then I'll continue. We'll get rid of it. Let's
okay.
carry on with our journey for now. We know that we're going to be meeting some Harpers down the line. If they know what it is and they know how to deal with it, then I will happily hand it over. Until then, though, I feel like it's going to be at least safer in all of our care, and with you guys watching over me as well.
Alright. Well, if you want to trust the Harpers, how about Nessun? He seemed to know something at least. He was alluding to the fact that there was something. I mean, he didn't want to tell us, of course, but
Yes.
I'll defer to you. I'll do what you ask me to, but I think we should consider the option that we need to focus on this. Like, this might be something we need to deal with before it takes over us.
I don't know why, but I have the feeling that this is the start of a long string of events. But we'll find out. Either way, though, for now it's safe. We will do what we can.
Okay.
I don't know necessarily if I want to trust the Harpers yet. I just want to trust someone. Someone who knows about things a lot more than me. I'm just a guard. Like, I'm doing what I can.
But you have a good heart.
I'm doing my best.
I know. We all do. We can see that.
Thank you, Serena.
How are you feeling? I mean, I know that's a rough question right now, but
It's a flurry of emotions. Anger, resentment,
yeah.
to joy from saving them, all in one twisted dark cyclone from the smoke that's rising here in Greynest, if I'm honest. It's, the town is a very good reflection of how I'm feeling right now, if I'm honest.
That's understandable. Well, we're here for you, not just for the tasks ahead, but also for you as a person. I hope you know that. So
I appreciate you
you
looking out for me.
need
And
anything.
I will come to you.
Okay.
Just,
Well,
yeah, just keep an eye out.
I'll definitely do that. That's all I do, I guess. I remembered. I'll take out my little pocket of my money bag. 29 of my gold coins are from Kyburn, and I'm gonna give
Yes.
them to you, Real, because I don't trust anyone else more than you to do what's best with this money for Green Nest. And I think it belongs to Green Nest at this point. Because that's also what Kyburn was trying to save. So I'll give you this money, and I don't know how much it's gonna do, but it's for you to decide with who you want to give it to keep the town safe as much as possible.
Thank you. And I immediately give you back 3 of the coins, and I gesture over to the children. Give 1 each. Tell them to keep it safe for a rainy day.
Okay, I think there's just 2 children
Or
though.
is that just 2? then?
3.
Okay, there was 2.
Oh, really? Okay. I've completely neglected the 3rd child. Oh, well, good to know that. Thank you.
Well, you have Leor
I'll
as
do
well.
that. Yeah.
Is there
Leor is my
anything
4th
else
child.
either of you would like to do before you find your way to bed?
Is Nessun around?
Roll me a perception check.
Oh, I thought it was a natural one. It's a 7, so 11, which is not great.
Cool.
But
As you sort of make your way back towards the children, you give a quick sweep of the room. You can see sort of on one of the bunks towards the fireplace, you can see Nessim, the sort of like makeshift crutches leaning against the bed. You can see the rhythmic and steady rise and fall of his chest. Seems like he's passed out asleep.
okay, well, I'm not gonna bother him then. I'll go to bed. I'll shut up.
As you crawl back into the bed, you see one of the children looks up to you, the younger of the two girls. You can see these sort of like bright green eyes as she looks up to you. You can see her hair, once this beautiful strawberry blonde, sort of charred on the edges in places, looks up to you and goes, Serena, there's... Father, did they find him yet?
Maybe tomorrow we'll hear some more. I haven't heard anything yet, but let's sleep. Let's
Okay.
let's go to bed.
Well, I'm going to sleep with Mr. Fox because he's very warm.
Oh,
That's very okay. We can all
Okay.
sleep together if you want, but if you want to stay with Mr. Fox, that's also okay.
I sleep with you, but I sleep with Mr. Fox too.
Yes,
that's so
definitely.
cute.
Mr. Fox would be very sad if you didn't want to sleep with him. So it's good to hear. That's great.
Good. Incredible.
Yes.
And as you fall asleep with the children, Vilka
Emotional
Kyra.
torture.
and Quill, is there anything the three of you would like to do before you find your way to bed?
Quill would probably find himself on his own just after the kind of day that he's had. He was going to try and find Nassim, but if he's sleeping, he'll just let him sleep. I suppose then, so the camera kind of shows Quill in his room on his own, looking out the window. He's playing with a harper pen in one hand, and in the other hand, he just kind of clicks his fingers. And like Mystique from the X-Men movies, he sees kind of his form change. With a click, he's Alan, the innkeeper of the Sleeping Drag Wake. And then clicks again, Barkiness sprouts out Tabaxi as Kyburn. And another click, and he's Nassim.
Incredible.
And after a moment, click, he's a dragon claw that attacked outside of the temple. And finally, click, you see him change into a kind of elderly, clearly very powerful wizard, aged well beyond Quill's years. He's got a decision he's trying to make and struggling with it. He grabs the silver amulet, and in a moment he just disappears, the amulet crashing to the ground.
And I'll say this,
That's how
Quill.
he's-
As you've been sort of like playing with the harp and the amulet, regardless of all the events of today, one thing that has troubled you is that sensation. Blood running cold in your arm as you spoke to the vessel. Just a slight concern. Even now, your fingertips feel numb. And as you disappear and you... we watch the vessel, the amulet, fall to the ground. Tell me this, Quill. What do you think the inside of your vessel looks like?
The inside of the vessel is large, about 20 by 20. It takes on the aesthetic of worked stone, as if someone had carved a room essentially out of the side of a mountain. Looking around, it's Spartan, it's bare. There's a stone slab for a bed, and while there's a window looking out into absolute nothing, there's still bars made of stone across the windows. This is well large, very clearly a prison cell. And Quill
Incredible.
sits cross-legged on the bed, on the kind of stone bench bed. I suppose you're still holding the pen absent-mindedly.
And as you sort of look up, Quill, it would just be blackness, oblivion, except for the chains which hang and the inky black void overhead. Like a smattering chandelier, these heavy chains, each one of them cuffed with an open manacle, just hanging from the ceiling like some kind of twisted art feature. And as you're looking around the room, you begin to hear whispers all around you. The darkness shifts almost rhythmically before giving way to the sound of grating metal. Rising from the black floor, twisted metal chains in the form of a lectern. Standing on that lectern is a swirling mass of black. It calls to you.
Quill kind of reach a hand out and stop himself before pulling back. The sense of dread building up, more echoing off the stones themselves.
It's at this point you feel it, like the skittering of an insect. Your mind goes back to the time when you sat in a room not unlike this one. And as that sense of dread sits heavy in your chest, you feel the tension as a chain wraps itself around your midsection and drags you towards the podium slowly and slowly, the force of it almost cracking your spine underneath it. And again, the whispers. And in the whispers, a voice.
A gift of faith.
And the shadows take the form of a book. You watch as the pages rifle. And it's open on the lectern. You're within reaching distance of it, Quill. What would you like to do?
Quill takes a breath, reaches out and grabs it.
And as you do, you immediately feel the connection established in your brain, that same connection you have to your amulet. What does Quill's Book of Shadows look like? What
The
form
book
does it take?
Slowly changes. It still does remain a book, looking aged, tattered, and old. The skin-bound part is a deep, deep red, thick leather. And if anyone was ever to peer at the pages in, it's writing in a language that's long since dead. The pages themselves kind of flicker back and forth as Quill takes a really deep breath, hoping that the dread that's dragging him down, hoping that it's gone.
It lightens. But being in this room, you get the sense that a little bit of it will always be there. And as you feel the tingling at your fingertips, slight warmth returns to them. What would you like to do, Quill? Would you like to stay? You get the impression that you can control comings and goings from this room.
Yes, as Quill obtaining said book, Quill's going to use the his kind of bonus action, and the same kind of flurry of movement, pop essentially back out of the amulet. And now
Incredible.
left
And it
lying on
falls
the
back. And it falls back. You feel it hit your chest as it sits again around your neck. The book's still in your hands.
And Quilla turned, or you essentially see him as everyone else would have met him previously, back to the way he looks. With this now, this Book of Shadow, that's essentially what Quill will be doing for much of the night now, trying to peruse this to get any kind of knowledge or secret or power that might help him from this book.
And as you do begin to cast through it, there is information in here that is far beyond you in your present state, Quill. But there are things in here that could very much help. This new power you have, this power to hide your own face, to become somebody else. There are other things you can do. You can bend people to your whim, endear them to you. And as you sort of peruse it, you see your right hand thick with dirt under your fingernails. That's all. And is there anything else Quill would like to do before you eventually find your way to rest? Or are you foregoing a long rest?
He would prefer to have a long rest, but that
Cool.
would wrap up what he's doing tonight.
Cool. I'll say you spend a good 4 hours perusing the book before you eventually find yourself to sleep. Kyra.
Okay. So I would say Kyra's like, if there is a place that is really warm other than like next to the fireplace, she's probably there. But if not, then she's most likely sitting in front of the fireplace.
I'll say that you sort of like make your way up to the topmost room, heat rises and all that, and you sort of set yourself up adjacent to the fireplace, enough to get some of the warmth, but not enough so it's like distracting.
Okay. And I imagine she'd be sitting at a table. She has her spell book out and she's just looking at it. But as she does, her leg starts to bounce slightly, like restless leg syndrome. And she is like going through everything that happened that day. And just kind of mutters softly to herself as she like glances over at the fireplace. How am I going to get myself not out of this? How am I gonna word this to her?
Now, I think there's probably almost an anxiety, Kyra, as you do speak into the flames, waiting for them to take a shape. And every time they like flicker a little bit abnormally, you sort of like jump a little bit in your head. There doesn't seem to be any immediate movement or formation in the flames.
She'll just watch it. A feeling of, like, I'm sure none of us like lying, but you know how, like, when you hold in something and you start to feel sick? That is slowly starting to make its way.
Cool.
So.
Let me just make a quick roll. Cool. And is there anything else Kyra does, or do you think that she slowly falls asleep at the table?
I would say she's like studying her book, trying to word things together, and think back to what, at this point, his name has been said, she just can't, for the life of her, remember it.
Leon or Leosin?
I think his name started with an N. He was the one that talked to Nessun. And she's like now fiddling with the harper pin. And what exactly have I gotten myself into with this? How am I gonna... Oh, jeez. Figure it out tomorrow. Right now, studying all this. And so she will just study that and slowly fall asleep into her textbook.
Okay. And Vilka, how about you?
After having buried the bodies, or making himself as helpful as he could to whoever was in charge of that, and having spoken with Quill, he would just simply take some time to find a water basin and just like clean out his weapons and his armor, not especially liking the grime and blood on himself. And he would just take some time alone like everyone else, because it feels that with all the screams and all these people was a little bit too much of a day. So you just take some quiet, though it's never really quiet for Vilka. So sometimes he would just talk to himself, make some kind of inventory of everything that happens, making an inventory, making these little mental files of all the people he has met. And then he would just simply go to bed and try to ignore more of the noise that is constantly around him. And as he would come across Kira just asleep on her textbooks, he would just pick her up and put her in a proper bed with a blanket.
Cool.
Aww.
And as you sort of set her down and find your way to your own bed, there's a cold sensation that runs down your spine, Vilka. You can hear that familiar sound. It troubles you, but eventually you find yourself drifting into the black void of sleep. And Nebulon, you gaze into your telescope. Is there anything else you would like to do before you find your way to sleep?
I think just for the first 4 hours, I think, as Nebulon has trained for this and has been exposed to a lot of starlight in his time, I think what he will do is, for the first 4 hours, it's almost like a routine. He's perfectly set up the station. He's taken off his telescope from the back. He's sort of attached the legs to it, and he's already sort of peering through, and he's making his little notes in his small little star journal. As he begins to sort of note different constellations, he's going to have another look to see if he can find any new constellations he has maybe not spotted yet. That's the first thing he's going to do for the first
check for
4
me.
hours. Cool. No, that is a 10 in total.
Incredible. As you're sort of looking over Nebulon,
Mm-hmm.
it's been quite a long time since you were this end of the realms. The sky looks different here. And yet, so very familiar. The first few hours pass uneventfully, and as you sort of like begin to track the movement of the moon through the sky over the course of the evening, you see a single shooting star fly past.
Nebulon immediately notes that down, and he's just
Incredible.
giddy. He just continues to look through exactly the coordinates of where that was, and he's trying and replicate that, and almost like make the trajectory of how far it would have gone. And he's going to get very, very
Amazing.
He doesn't know much about calculations or intelligence, but he most certainly enjoys the thrill of seeing this in the moment, and he'll mark it down.
Incredible. And as you do, you continue to track it. You've never really followed the conventional calendar of Harptos, but as you sort of like follow the way the moon falls and rises throughout the course of the evening, you know it's coming towards the autumn equinox. Probably got another 10 days or so before it hits. Maybe less, maybe more.
As I'm sort of seeing the night sky, I'm going to take a quick little look around. Am I alone at this point in time?
It appears so, yes.
Okay, so what I'll sort of do is I'll stand and I'll take my hands and I'll sort of feel the brisk breeze and see what the kind of general temperature is.
It is very cool. It's not quite cold enough to be, disorienting or distracting, but it's definitely chilly. It's probably about 8 or 9 degrees, 10 at a push.
What I'll do, I'll start to disassemble the tripod. I'll sort of attach it together, put it back on my back. I'll close the journal. At which point I will take the star staff and I'll draw it out, twist the handles, extend it out, and I will cast Shillelagh, and you sort of see it begin to almost like light up and twinkle. And what I will do is I will start to carve a small trace of a circle around myself. And it'll almost be like I'm sort of connecting dots of the Celestian god, if you will. Well, at least that's the kind of like one of the forms I've got in my crystal. And I'll sort of cross my legs. And I'll begin to meditate, as I do not need to sleep. So I will just cross my legs and I will try to feel the cold and feel the elements and remember that climb up the mountain back in the day. And I'll sort of close my eyes. And you'll just start to see some of the small tracings of the circle begin to sort of like have a faint white glow to them as I begin to meditate.
Incredible. Incredible. And as you do, our party all finds themselves to a place of rest. And you have all long rested.
Oh!
Yay!
Amazing. Take
First
one.
long rest of the campaign, guys.
It's been a day.
Didn't we need it?
It's been a fat day.
Oh, yes.
Indeed.
As you all awaken in the early hours of the morning, for the sake of brevity, I'll say, for the sake of brevity, I'll say unless anyone has anything they want to do before they regroup, you will find your way into the courtyard of Greenest Keep.
So I do have something I want to do.
Go on.
As I'm like getting out of bed, normally I would be up for my 6 a.m. yoga session in the courtyard, but these are special times, so I'll forgo that for now. But she's still awake at 6 a.m., but because she's not gone to sleep yet. Anyways, I fucking lost my point in my own ramblings. I'll gently nudge the children, and can I find Braun?
Yeah, so I'll say that as you sort of begin to wake up and shift the children, they sort of remain asleep, probably fully tuckered out from the events of the day before.
Yeah.
You'll slowly sort of like make your way up into the courtyard, and you can see that already at this time, people are beginning to busy themselves. The rescue effort continues, and you can see that bodies are still being collected and sort of like catalogued and the census is being checked against those who have been deceased. You can see at this time, people are actually heading out into town proper, seemingly to recover what they can, see what buildings are still standing, see what the state of affairs is now that things are safe and a couple of days have sort of passed. And I'll say that as you sort of make your way out, you can see Bronze sort of like hoisting up a sort of like set of leather armor that looks a little bit too tight. You can see that another individual, sort of human man's behind him, trying to sort of like pin it in place, like, get off me, you bastard! I can do it myself. And you see, oh, it's you! Good morning,
Hi.
how are you doing?
Well, I have to talk to you.
Right?
So
If this is about my basement, like, we made a deal prior to anyone going down there that I cannot be held responsible for anything that was found there. I know that there was children, and I did my best to make sure that none of them knew what anything was. I just want to make it very clear, if you're going to chew me out about it, don't bother.
Well, I don't think you should be hiding your religion. I think it's okay to be out in the open. You could keep it like your cross even in your room or something. I think like you don't need to hide that in your basement. Maybe one day I'll be back. One day we can pray at your cross together, maybe. I think there should be like acceptance and openness to people having different beliefs. But
You see, he sort of like looks you up and down for a second. He goes, oh yeah, you're looking to pray together, are you? I think that could be
yeah,
arranged
let's
if you-
pray together.
Hey.
I love to find
Well,
people
why
who
don't
have
you,
the same interests.
Oh, you want to find some more people that want to play with us? I didn't take you for the
we can
playing
have
type,
prayer
but if
circles.
you want, how many? Like another person
Any
or like?
number. Any number. Like,
Okay,
Yeah,
well, I
we
did
can-
not expect you to be the type to be faster than them, but fair dues.
well, can't you see my regalia? Like,
I certainly can. That is, wow. Definitely, yeah. When I hear that you're heading out, so when you come back, if we can have a little bit of
I
a
can't wait to
celebration,
come
the
back.
celebration
We'll
prayer.
have so much fun. It'll be
Oh,
great.
I think that we will too. And you can see that his like eyes sort of like twinkle at this.
I love to find like-minded people. We'll have the
Oh,
greatest
so
prayer
do
circle
I.
ever.
So do I. Let me tell
Gather
you that.
everyone up. Anyone you can find. When I'm back, we'll do it, Ron. We'll do it. But
Yes, we
sorry, that's
will.
not what
Waiting
I.
Oh, also,
Actually-
if your friend the elf, the big guy, I can't remember his name. The scary looking
Which
dude.
color?
Like kind of grey, purpley.
Oh.
If he's interested, definitely invite him. He'll be a right hit with the other religious types, if you will.
I'll ask him for sure. Like I'm not
Did
gonna stop
somebody say
anyone
my
from
name?
joining in.
I'll just sort of wander in. Oh, hello. Is there...
Oh,
Oh,
it
no,
was a
I
different-
wasn't talking about you, but
It was a different elf. But
oh, hi.
do you want to join
Uh,
the prayer circle?
Oh, I'm not religious of type, but Oh, you're referring to the...
That's okay. We accept everyone.
Oh, right. Of course. Yes, you like to pray, right? In your basement. It was quite a
Yeah.
peculiar cross, I will say. I've never quite seen one tilted to the side, but I mean... look, I will support if you need, but, you know... I'm quite...
You see, he kind of just
neutral.
looks at you, exasperated and so very confused, and kind of goes, "Right, okay, I might be losing track of this conversation just a little bit. So
Well,
tell you
actually,
what, why
there
don't
was-
we go
Let's
on?
circle back another time because I actually have something important to talk about. Not that prayer is
Right.
not important, but
Okay.
So, you know, Linan and Cuff. You knew. They had these children, and many children have lost their parents. I don't know who to talk to because I don't know the city very well. I just arrived yesterday, actually. And I would talk to Rail, but he's leaving too. I don't know who else to go to, but I really need someone
Listen,
to be there.
Sorena, don't worry. Sister Cindy has already agreed to take all of the children under her care. They'll be raised in... Once the Temple of Chantay is back, they'll be raised as orphans there, and she's a wonderful woman. I've no doubt that they'll all be raised in the best of circumstances, given the circumstances.
Yeah,
It's very sweet of you to... It's very sweet of you to say that.
Here,
But-
take this. I'll hand him 10 gold pieces, please. Just could you please bring that to
I'll fucking take that!
not you.
For the
could you bring that to
children,
the sister,
right?
please, for the children, if you would not mind.
I know what you meant. Yes, of course. I'll make sure that she gets it. I'm sure it'd be very much appreciated.
Of
I'm
course,
sad to leave them. Like, I mean, they'll have no one if no one takes special care of them. Someone really needs to look after them. So I'm glad to hear that you're on it already. I knew I could trust
I'll
you.
keep
You're
an
a
eye.
good person.
Don't worry. I'll keep an eye. It's
Okay.
unprecedented times that we're living in. But you two just
Yes.
make sure you look after yourselves while you're on the road. The both of you.
Yes,
Of
we'll
course.
look after each other.
Incredible.
You,
And
you're
I'll
coming
say
too,
if-
everyone.
If there's nothing else anyone wants to do inside the keep, everybody else eventually makes their way out into the concourse and sees Nebulon and Nebulon and Serena sort of chatting amongst themselves.
I would. Oh, sorry.
Go
ahead.
Sorry.
I was
Kyra.
gonna say Kyra's probably the last one to make her way out because she's studying for one and then going and getting Leor, making sure that he's okay as well as the kids. So.
Rail is
Incredible.
also heading to a man about a list.
Incredible. You can still see, as you sort of make your way out into the courtyard rail, you can still sort of see the gentleman sort of like cataloguing the dead at this point. You can see that at the current point, he's sort of like leaning against the wall on the easternmost side of the keep, sort of just checking over the list a few times. I take it you're here for your copy?
I am. What was the...
Well, it's not comprehensive yet. We haven't had a chance to go out into town to check those who perished outside the walls, but this is what I've got so far.
And I'll take it. How many names are on this list?
So far?
So far.
78.
That's a lot of kobolds I've got to kill. I plan for each of our members, at least 10 enemies will fall.
I think that's fair.
It's no way to honor the dead by any means. It's also, revenge is probably not the best goal on the Sword Coast, but right now it's all I've got.
No, I think revenge is very much justified at this point.
And in that case, I will gently fold up the note and I'll put it in one of my storage pouches. Actually, I'll put it in the one where I keep my gold.
Cool.
Whenever I go to look at it, at least I'm keeping track of things. But
Incredible.
yes, for all of our citizens that we've lost, we'll get some numbers in for them.
See, he gives you a nod. Goes back to his list.
And I'll head back over to the group.
And as you all assemble in the courtyard, what would you all like to do?
Good morning, everyone. Hi.
Morning.
Hi. Morning. I don't know if it's good, but it's a morning at least.
How
we
is
all made it
everyone
through the
this
night.
morning?
Well, it's the dawn of a
Yeah.
new day, so we'll make most of what we've got.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we've made it through the night. We've saved as many people as we could. I'd say that is a victory in itself.
I agree.
I agree. It's nice to have such a nice way of looking at it, to be fair. But we've got a long journey ahead of us. Is there anything that people want to gather before we make way today?
Should we talk to
I've had
Nessim
everything
again,
I
or are we ready to... Is everyone heading out on this journey?
I'm with you all the way.
I'm going.
We have a lot of answers that need, answering. So,
Yeah.
I think it best that we do. This place, if the governor is still here, will be very well, as well as it can be protected with the circumstances, but if I was going to have faith in anyone, it would be the people who do remain here in Greenest.
Yeah. And the nearby towns, have they been warned? Do we know if there's anyone there to warn them?
I presume the messages will be going out. I know that a lot of people are heading out alongside us on this journey today in different directions, so there will be warnings sent out of what has happened here in Greenest, as they'll be trying to gain as much help from the surrounding areas as they can. It's a very wide area that needs to be covered. It'll be a few days' travel at least, but we've got to have faith in that.
Yeah.
And as you guys are having this conversation, you see that sort of like heading down from the parapet's rail, and the rest of you would recognize a familiar figure. You see Governor Nighthill comes down. You can see he's now wearing sort of these like flowing blue robes, but sort of like pinned down with this like studded leather armor that he's now wearing, short sword at his side. You can see next to him is Otis, the sort of like stout dwarven figure. You can see he's still got a heavily bandaged face covering one eye. You can see he's sort of like walking with a slight limp, but very much stubborn and determined to continue about his day. You can see Governor Nighthill approach you and says, "Good, you're all here. So I wanted to speak with you all briefly before you head out. In terms of the specifics of what I'm asking of you, myself and Otis, and you see he nods down to Otis, there isn't a lot left in the town coffers. Most of what we had, judging by the people who have been out this morning and last night to search the village, they took almost everything. The Sallyport was breached and a lot of our wealth was taken from there, but You see he takes out a sort of like slightly large bag of gold. I can give you 250 gold pieces for completion of this, to be split amongst the 6 of you. What I want in return is this. I want to know where their camp is sited. I want to know how many of them there are, who their leaders are, what it is that's motivating this attack, if they plan to strike anywhere next. And as a side note, if there is any opportunity for you to recover any of the goods and the valuables of the people of Greenest, I'm sure the townspeople would be very much appreciative of what you can bring, but this should be a secondary priority to discovering what you can about these raiders, their ambitions, their numbers, and their goals.
Yes,
All right, sir.
we can do that.
Well,
And you see he hands the bag of gold over towards you, Rail.
and I'll take it and I'll just latch it onto to my belt next to the other one so everyone can see where it is.
You see Otis sort of pipes up, and you can see he's got 2 sort of like heavy sort of like bags at his sides. He goes, well, there's not a lot left after everything that was needed for recovery and all that, but this is about 10 days of rations for the 6 of you, a couple of tents in case you need to camp out there on the road.
You are most kind. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Much appreciated.
And Rail, just one thing. I always thought that you were right about that wall.
Well, hindsight's...
I didn't say it. I didn't say it. Granted, but inside, I agreed with you.
Hindsight's a great thing. It wasn't needed until it was needed.
I would say aye, but I've only got one of them left.
And for the, after everything, it's nice that Rail was actually able to let out a small chuckle from that.
You gotta laugh or you cry.
You're not wrong.
Anyway, go give the beasties hell for us all.
In the name
all
of
of you.
Greenest.
Lighting them up is
Aye.
the plan.
All right.
Incredible, guys.
Thanks for the support.
Mhm.
And
Of course.
Yes.
I'll look around at everyone in the party and I'll just say, right, we'll be on our way. Open the gates.
Let's do it.
Right.
And the gates are opened. And you see, as you pass, Governor Nighthill says, Earth Mother be with you all.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
with
And as
you.
you all head through the gates, travel through the ruins of Greenest, out into the green fields proper. And we'll take a short break there, guys. And welcome back. As you all make your way through the ruins of Greenest, over the hills, the fires and charred remains fade behind you. As you crest the low ridge and you look out over the open countryside. Here, the land breathes once again. Wide, rolling fields of green stretch across the horizon, painted in shades of gold and jade beneath the early morning sun. You guys can see the grass gently sways in the breeze, soft and whispering the final breath of summer. You guys can see wildflowers speckling the hills and bursts of violets and blues, petals trembling with the movements of the wind, and insects lazily humming through the air. You can see far off a hawk circle silently above. A peaceful, almost idyllic landscape. Cruel in its calmness, as a stark contrast to the destruction left behind. But as you step out into the wild green fields, even here, there are signs of the chaos. Trampled grass cuts a rough path through the hills. Parts of the trails are torn and muddy from boots and deep imprints of wagons. You can see broken arrows lying half buried in the earth, and occasionally a smear of dried blood. As you move through the wilderness, you can hear the gentle sound of bird call and the rustle of grass. Some of you find this nerve-wracking. And as the sun climbs higher, warm on your backs, the trail leads ever onward. So, as you guys venture out into the green fields proper, who's taking the lead here?
No.
I think that'll be Rail.
Cool.
Rael, just a quick one. Are we tracking these tracks to make sure that or are we assuming they're leading us back to the camp? Or are we going to try to venture out and find people that might have witnessed this?
Well, if I'm not mistaken, weren't we going to have a rendezvous? We were looking for someone.
There's multiple paths to this. I trust your judgment.
Just going back on the information that the Harper told us, DM. What was the what was the location they specified? Because they were talking to us about going somewhere, weren't they?
Here's a safe house in the area board.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're heading to a safe. They mentioned that their brother had already headed to a safe house in the area board to pre-warn the Harper cell there of what happened in Greenest.
So that's one direction we can take, and that's going north. of
That
Greenest,
so
isn't
from
it?
what you
Okay.
can tell, following on from yesterday when you kind of looked into the trail led behind by Leosin out of the back of the Sleeping Dragon's wake, and now looking at some of like the trampling of the grass and the movement here, it appears to be heading in a northwestern direction, while Iriabor is starkly to the east towards the Sunset Mountains.
Yeah. So we have a few options here. We can head to Iriabor, or we can see where these tracks go and try to find out some information.
I'm not the best with
Well,
tracking
real
tracks.
We could do both, but we'd have to pick one first and then focus on and then do the other one if we have time.
Well, the alarm has already been raised, but remember, the kobold told us there are going to be other attacks throughout the area. I say we go and cut the head off the snake as best we can. We need to find out where they are, and we need to prevent the attacks, or at the very least give them forewarning. I say we
I
follow
mean,
the
that is
tracks.
true.
Hit them before they
that
hit
is
us.
true.
It's bad.
Cut off the head and the problem goes away.
Looks like we're following some tracks then.
And what
Lovely.
happens if we find the whole army?
I mean, that would both be a good and a bad thing. Don't
Shall
really
we
want
not
to be found
consider
by.
working together with the Harpers?
That too.
We shall, but
Kyra, are you a Harper? Whatever that is.
Well, for me, it's personally complicated. Given what Nessun said and how he talked to me, he was rather rude. I
Yeah.
guess it's a yes.
Well,
To be quite honest with you, I have no idea what I've gotten myself into.
well, what's your opinion as a Harper then? Like, do you think they'll have information that will be vital to us before we attempt to go hunt down these creatures?
I mean, I'm fairly new to this. I'd say yes. I mean, it wouldn't hurt to give it a shot. I'm very new to this. I don't know. She's like very, very nervous.
I'm nervous too. It's not
I haven't. I mean,
What
I
are we
haven't even
doing?
put this. And she gets it out of her bag. She's like, I haven't even put this on yet. I don't.
I think
I
you
don't
wear it
know.
well though, or in your hand at least.
Thank you. I mean, I would put it in my
You should
hair, but
own it.
I risk burning it.
Oh,
You're
well,
doing
maybe on
amazing.
your
Don't worry.
Rael, as you're taking the lead on this, go ahead and roll me a survival check, please. If
supervise
anyone
us
would like to
adults,
assist,
please.
you're welcome to do so.
survival's not my strongest
Are
suit,
we?
so if anyone wants to help me, that'd be
Oh,
great.
I'm
I
good.
can
Let me
certainly
see.
help with that.
Are you proficient
That's
with
fine.
survival, Mr. Nebulon?
I am indeed. Yes. I
Incredible. You
am.
can give him the help action then, so roll with advantage, please. Rael,
Dirty 15.
15 will do it. As you're sort of like out into the main breadth of the green fields now, it's not a difficult path to follow, all things considered. Generally, the wide swath of grass is trampled down. It's very difficult to determine precise numbers of the raiders. It more confirms what you already know. There is a lot of them. There is a mix of kobolds and humanoids, as well as what look like slightly bigger beasts, perhaps the drakes that you'd seen sort of like around with some of the kobolds. As you sort of check the footprints, one thing that does catch your attention on a 15 rail is that many of the footprints are deeper on retreat than they were on approach, presumably weighed down by the large amount of spoils gained during the raid.
Yep. So taking these imprinted, the imprinted foots, I'll be focusing on those and the direction of where they go in comparison to the light ones. Yeah.
Cool. And in that case, I need to roll a few encounter checks.
We did this,
Hi,
guys.
If I may, is there a reason why you are so nervous about being this Harper, or whatever it is that you claim to be? Is there a reason for that?
Well, I'll say it's because I don't really know much other than stories that my teacher told me. And a few other things, because this is going to be so difficult to explain.
And as you're having this conversation, you'll begin to feel the first drops of rain
Oh,
as the heavens open and it begins to pour over the green fields.
Just slight.
How are the tracks doing?
is that hurting your
What
hair?
happens to
Kyra?
Kyra's hair?
No, it actually feels oddly nice.
There's like an odd sense of like small pieces, like small wisps of steam that just come out as they hit Kyra's skin and her hair. Towards the end of the
love
first
that.
2 hours, I'm going to need you to make me another survival check with advantage, please, Rael, if Nebulon's going to continue to help you.
30-20.
No.
Cool, that'll do it. It's a little bit more difficult, as the way the Greenfields is, it's a lot of rolling hills. So at certain points where the hills sort of coalesce into sort of a dip, the tracks sort of begin to disappear underneath the mud that's forming from the well-trodden path now. But you sort of rely on the crests of the hills and manage to make your way over, and you stay towards the path. You start to get the impression, as you move further and further along the green fields, that there's a very clear trajectory. Rael, I'll say that you know the region reasonably well enough, and I'll say, Vilka, the same is probably true for you. You get the sense that this trail is heading towards the Wood of Sharp Teeth, towards the northeast of the region.
Going into here, we're going to end up losing a lot of visibility, so if we are heading in here, just make sure that you're keeping your head on a swivel at all times. We don't know what we're going to find in here.
Got it.
We
And
don't know what we're
Kyra
going to
will
find
just
anywhere, but that's part of the adventure, no?
Exactly.
Put
Oh,
up her hood, and Leor just kind of disappears into the hood. The only thing that you guys can see is probably his two eyes, and that's it.
Incredible.
Yeah.
It's
you
like
guys
one of those old
continue
school
your
neck
journey.
warmers.
As you guys continue your journey, you eventually find that the rolling green fields begin to break. Large, jagged, sort of stalactites rise from the ground. You can see these like huge pieces of stone, small, almost mountainous elements. In the distance, you begin to see the canopy of a forest, giving way to several mountain implements. Rael, give me one last survival check, please.
Oh, good, buddy.
12.
With advantage.
Oh, yeah. 14.
Nailed it.
The thing that catches your attention above all is that despite your initial assumptions, the path seems to almost crest around the Wood of Sharp Teeth, and you eventually find yourself into a very canyonous region. You can see there's large sort of like dips in the earth and jagged sort of like stone walls, as well as smatterings of canopies of trees. Everybody go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Let's see.
Ooh, not
I am
bad.
not proficient in that, but 15?
17.
13.
Dirty 20.
19.
Oh.
10.
And I'll say, as you all start to crest around the Wood of Sharp Teeth into the more rugged terrain, you guys feel as the rain slowly begins to lessen and slow. And it's at that point that you begin to hear the sounds of hushed conversation. From some distance away, buried deep within the trees. I'll say that you all sort of like stop and hold.
Can I hear the direction specifically, or is it just that we can hear them generally nearby?
I'll draw your attention towards roll 20 now.
Oh, yay.
Did any of us understand any language?
Nothing that
If
you can
it's
make out from this
draconic.
distance.
Okay. All right.
Okay. What are you...
Why is it hidden?
Yeah, I
Stickers.
can't see anything. It's all dark.
That's because it
Okay,
is hidden.
okay, it's not just me.
What you can see
How
on the screen,
evil.
the darkness is our field of view, so everything that we can't see is not going to show up.
Oh boy.
Technology has come so far.
Call it the fog of war.
The fog of
As you
war.
all
Fuck of war.
As you all look around yourselves, the thing that catches everybody's attention more than anything is that there are multiple voices. Seems like they're coming from maybe southwest of you, deep within the sort of like smatterings of trees. You can't see anything yet. What would you all like to do?
I'd like to get a gathering of a rough number of voices and see if I
It
can
would
hear-
require you to move closer.
Okay.
I will sort of, as you're about to move, I'll sort of raise my hand and I'll just sort of, once again, sort of like delicately draw sort of what look
Guidance?
dots in the sky, and then you'll just sort of see like luminari burst from out my shoulder, and I'll gesture over to her and I'll look towards you and the group, and I could just sort of hand signal to send her up.
Just give you a sharp nod.
I'll
Incredible.
send her up.
Brainy.
And as you do, go ahead and give me a perception check through Luminari, please.
Perfect. Is this with the advantage with the owl or no?
Yes.
Perfect. So either 15. I'm going with a 15. It's a 15 in total.
15 in total. As you sweep over the horizon and you sort of like send her up over the trees, first thing that catches your attention is sort of nestled in a grove of the forest is for you what appears to be a group. You can see what looks like 4 humanoids gathered around slightly south of what looks like a larger cabal of 8 kobolds. You can see that they're slightly apart. One of them sort of like walks over to the kobolds, and you can see he's leaning down, and you can sort of see the blood sort of like gathering in his face. It looks like he's shouting something. You can all hear like just the echoing of the shouts from over the hills.
How many can Luminari see? Or can I see through Luminari?
You can see through Luminari. Let me know if you can see this nebulon.
Am I using this through Luminari or my own counter?
Through,
I can
for your own counter.
Boy, yes, I can see that. Jeez. Right. Can everyone else see that, or is it just me that sees this at the minute?
We can
Yeah.
see it too.
I can
I can see
Yeah.
it.
Cool.
but
Amazing.
I'll pretend I
So-
can't.
Cool. Luminara will, I
you.
guess, just sort of hover nearby or stay near a tree. Yeah, quite hidden in this. The rain's still pattering at this point, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you'll just sort of. It's weird. My eyes are completely rolled back, and I can't really hear anything, but you can sort of hear me muttering. There are at least, from the count of things, 8 kobolds and about 4 cultists. It's hard to tell, but it looks as if they're slightly injured by the sound of them. At which point my eyes will roll back, and I was like, it's quite a lot, actually. But they don't know we're here. Perhaps it could be...
And you say they're already injured?
It's...
Could be
well, you
good.
said that... I mean...
It
Possibly.
definitely seems like a few of them have taken wounds. You can see a few of them. You saw like a few of them had like burns and things of that nature. By the looks of it, looks like currently that like the kobolds are all gathered around a small like fire pit. Looks like they're roasting some kind of like dead rodent on a spit, and you can see one of the cultists has come over to shout at them about something or other. But they do all appear to currently be unarmed. You can see that they've all taken their armor off. Their weapons are sort of lazily hanging around the campfire. None of them appear to be in battle mode, as it were.
I say we get the drop on
Maybe
them.
we should question them.
Get the
What are
drop
they
on it.
doing
Keep a
here?
couple alive.
Wait, are we going to kill them? But we don't know if they're baddies, do we?
They're
They
kobolds
look
and
exactly like the
cultists.
ones. Yes, it looks...
Maybe they're fighting back. Maybe they're defecting or something.
Well, we'll find
I
out.
love
when
your
we put
optimism.
sword through them.
Quill's going to Quill will speak up and he'll suggest maybe a different tactic would work better. With a click, he's going to again. You see the kind of mystique change from like the X-Men into the old man Dragonclaw, the guy that was selling the weird and wonderful trinkets prior to the siege.
Yes.
So, but in the full kind of Dragonclaw regalia,
We still have the
uniform,
mask as well.
Oh, yes, we do.
that would help. And it's going to say
Grail.
perhaps a different tactic is a better idea. Maybe
I
we
can
learn
double down as your
information first.
bodyguard, Quill, if you want to go that way. That way, if anything bad happens, we can retreat and I'll help you.
Quill, can you speak
I'll be
Draconic?
right back.
I'm sorry?
Can you speak Draconic?
Draconic is one tongue that I have mastered over my time.
I would probably say
was
you're
very
better
long,
off
yes.
speaking in Draconic from the get-go then. If you're going to be going down this
Yeah.
route.
He's
I'll
just going
put
to
it in.
smugly go blah, 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 or whatever Draconic sounds like.
Incredible.
In that case,
That's exactly how it
Like High
sounds.
Valarian.
if you want to head and chat to them, we could prepare in the bushes just in case things go
Nebulon,
awry.
could you watch
Damn,
through
God's angry.
Minari and then...
Could I what, sorry?
Sorry, could you watch through Luminari and then punch us if we need to join into the fight or something?
I
If we
will
need to
lash
get
out
out?
if needs be, sure.
And-
I'll just roll back.
And if it helps, I could also, if he's up for it, lure my light. And she'll like try to get his. Do you think you could tag along with Luminari?
You see he sort of disappears into the bushes and spirals up a tree and sort of like perches next to Luminari.
Luminari
Good boy.
looks straight over there and
There's like a
Looks back
moment where
over.
two wild animals just sort of like stare down each other into the depths of their souls before they sort of turn and continue to look.
And she'll like try to make herself as small as possible, and her eyes will turn blue, like
Oh. Where's
Like
everyone
yours.
going?
It's a very familiar familiarity moment, isn't it?
Familiarity moment.
Yeah.
Wow. You
Getting
really did that.
Incredible.
Familiar's
What's the
getting
plan,
familiar.
guys?
I am going
yeah.
to keep watch within the eyes of Luminari. Should
Okay.
anything go south.
So you and Kyra are staying where you are, and Quill and Vilka
Yes.
are heading into the group.
Is this a
Rael and
bush?
Serena, are you guys hiding? Yeah, it's kind of like shrubbery, trees, and like bushes. If you want to hide in there, I need you all to give me a stealth check with advantage. Those who are hiding,
I can't get around this. There we go.
I can put you in there. Yes.
Ooh,
I got a
that one.
16.
So
11,
16
no,
from
12.
Kyra, 12 from Serena. Rael,
But I missed the net one.
That is an 18.
18.
That was rolled straight,
And
by the way.
Nebulon.
12.
12, cool. Good to know. And I'll say this, as you guys like move into the bushes and Quill and Vilka, as you sort of crest around, you begin to make out more of what the conversation is. You see the cultists are sort of like come down to the fire spit around the kobolds because, you imbeciles! That's obviously raw! Let me take it. Fucking kobolds can't do shit. And you see he starts to turn the fire spit in place. And you see one of the kobolds comes up, tries to take it from him, and he just backhands him into place. Fuck off, you little ingrate! You can see the kobolds also like look at the cultists with this, like, with pure malice and hatred, as it were, sort of knowing their station, that there's not much they can do. And the cultist sort of like stands up with the spit, the sort of rodent on it, and goes, "The humans eat first. Why don't you all crawl into the forest and find something to eat for yourselves? Whatever insects or bugs it is that you call food." So he walks back, sort of taking a huge bite off of the rodent in place. And the other cultists sort of like laugh and pat him on the back, while the kobolds sort of like kick the dirt and grind their teeth a little bit. Quill and Vilka, what would you guys like to do?
So Quill's just going to share a look at Velka and smile, but again, remember it's the kind of old dragon claw. Looking back at you, Velka, and kind of smiles and says, "Just another day." And I suppose, yeah, with Velka and tow, going to kind of approach the kobolds first, and he's going to kind of give them a look.
You see, as you sort of like walk in, are you wearing the mask out of interest, Quill?
Yes, he would wear the mask.
Okay, cool. You see that they all sort of like wheel back as they see you sort of like emerge from the canopy, clearly shaken and clearly like scared, as it were. They sort of all back away from you slowly. You can hear the sound of the like skittering, like, and you would understand this, Quill, as, "It's the boss. He's here. He's back." And you see the cultists all look over. "Master Rendigan, you survived?"
Yeah, Quill will respond. He'll say, what would he say actually as this guy? He'll say, "That's enough, soldiers. Form up. Of course I survived."
And you see they all sort of like run into formation next to you. They drop the spit. And they sort of like leave their things behind and sort of all stand up. "We heard that you'd been killed."
He struck with righteous fury and took down that abominable temple.
Roll deception check with advantage.
Yeah, let's do it.
I will just stand here and look menacing. Because I don't speak
You would
Draconic,
really
so I'm
well.
just trying to play the part.
Listen to them all, just like,
Oh, there's two.
25.
You see that they all like beads of sweat down their head, and he goes, "Of course, Master Rendigan, we never doubted for a second that you would have survived. I'm sure that you gave those dirty peasants the what for." "Oh, yes, of course, Master Rendigan, we never doubted you for a second." You can see they all look like visibly nervous, sort of like caught off of guard at this point. We just put our weapons down for a second to clean them. You see, they were dirty. We didn't want to draw any attention on the open road. They sent us ahead of the rear guard to make sure, obviously, none of the villagers were chasing us down or following us or anything like that. So we were just kind of standing here, vigil, making sure nobody, was causing any trouble or trying to strike vengeance or anything like that.
Well aware of that, soldier, because dereliction of duties will lead to a flaying.
Of course. We would never dream of fleeing. Master Langdorosa just asked us to stay here with a little force, pick off any stragglers that might come in, that the rear guard, and then obviously the rear guard will deal with any large organized militia as they get closer towards camp.
Excellent news. And where is Master Langdorosa now?
Master Langdorosa has returned to camp. He's left one of the other dragon claws in the rear guard. They're in the gorge, just about 2 miles north. Like I say, just make sure you declare yourself because they're very much on guard at the moment. Yes, it seems like the most easy way to reach the camp from Green Nest. So that's where they've holed up.
We shall. And time for inventory checks. Do produce the spoils you have taken from those peasants. I wish to inspect.
Of course, permission to break ranks, sir.
Permission granted.
And you see one of them sort of like runs back over to the fire pit, grabs a large sack, sort of like opens it up, and you can see inside there's several sort of like ornamental plates that are all carved with like sheets of wheat and things of that nature. You can see ornate silver goblets. Looks like this is a lot of the spoils taken from the Temple of Chontea. A lot of religious artifacts and a lot of like ceremonial pieces. This should be good for the Great Horde, right? This is all good stuff.
Yes, the more treasures we gather, the further we aid our cause. And Quill's just kind of, to show his dominance at this point, he's going to kind of look over them and he'll take just one of the treasures that's there, one of the silver ones. Nothing too ostentatious or anything like that, but just his cut into the robe.
You see that they all smile and nod. Very good choice, sir. Master Langdorosa did insist, obviously, that none of us take personal effects. Although permission to take one little trinket from the raid, maybe, would be appreciated by us.
Permission denied. Your next orders are to head that direction, 20 miles, 25 miles or so, and establish a perimeter. Take those creatures with you, but leave one with me.
You see one of the cultists at that point sort of like stands forward and goes, Master Langdorosa was insistent that we were to hold a protective barrier here. Wouldn't do to break his orders, would it?
And Quill will take a breath and kind of just get a little bit closer to him and say, would you like to go and ask Master Langdorosa himself?
Roll. I'll let you choose deception or intimidation with advantage.
And Bill could just look menacing in the background.
Yeah.
Extra.
I'll give
Yeah,
him all the
do that.
advantage, just looking menacing, not understanding anything, whatever is being said.
I need
So
to play
gonna go
the
for
part.
just deception, straight roll deception, and that was 24.
Of course not, sir. Everybody, you ingrates, file up. You, and you see he points to the kobold who's currently picking up a small beetle from the ground and putting it in his mouth. Stay behind and speak with the master. He obviously wants one of you little scrotums to kick around a little bit. Let's go, boys. And you see that the cultists sort of like grab their gear in place. The other 7 kobolds all sort of like whine, give sympathetic looks over at their companion. And after about 10 minutes, they sort of disappear over the hill and out of sight. You see one of them sort of like looks over towards you, unmoving, still on the ground, eyes wide.
And he's going to say, soldier, present your weapon for inspection.
Go. You see he sort of like pulls out this sort of like rusted and dinged short sword. You can see that it's sort of like smattered with blood at this point. You can see there's several sort of like chips in it where it's been used not so optimally. There's like rust at the bottom towards where the pommel meets the actual blade itself. Holds it out and you can see the hands visibly shaking.
I'm just kidding.
Bill.
Sorry, Velka.
I was gonna say Vilka would just like lean over and take the weapon just to present them to you.
You see, he sort of like
so-
snaps his hands to his side. I cleaned it the best I could, Master. I tried. I had to use the blood of some of the villagers, but as I wiped it, the blood wouldn't come off with more blood. I was real confusion.
And he's just gonna go, ugh, pissed. And he'll say to Velka, take the prisoner. It's time to go. And
Prisoner?
turn back into
What?
Quill.
Oh my god! You see, he goes for his weapon at his side and sees nothing. Eyes widen. Vilka, what are you doing?
Well, I will grapple him under my arm.
Roll on the pose athletics check. I'll say you can have advantage on this.
Cobalt -5. No.
Oh no.
Oh, that was bad.
Oh.
As this is happening, can Luminari just have a little check to see if the convoy has actually gone out of sight?
Yeah, I'll say about 15
See if they
minutes
miss
pass and they
the-
sort of disappear over the head.
Perfect.
Does it? Do you beat a 7?
So you said strength or
Athletics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Seven
athletics
to beat.
wasn't.
I bet a 7, yeah.
Cool. Incredible. So I'll say that you easily sort of like grab the kobold in place, pin his arms to his chest, and I'll say, seeing that the coast is clear, Nebulon, you're welcome to emerge if you wish.
Well, I'll roll my eyes back and I'll just move back out of the bushes.
Incredible.
Are we safe to go?
And
How's it looking?
That was great. Well done.
So
And
Quill kind of gather
Kara will-
everyone around and repeat some of the information and say there's a rear guard over the ridge and kind of point in the direction that leads further onto the main camp. So we are close, and this creature, kind of nodding to the kobold, will take us straight there.
Can we keep
I
them?
won't give you anything! You're a traitor! You took off the mask! You traitor!
I'll say in Draconic, we're your new masters, but we're not your masters. We can be your friends. You don't have to be like, do tasks or anything. You can just hang out with us. Doesn't that sound fun?
Spits directly into your eye. What good is life without tasks?
As soon as Rail
Heretic.
sees that, he's immediately
Well, if you want
gonna
tasks, you
clobber
can
it.
have them. Shut up. Sorry, not right. In Draconic.
Yeah, as soon as Rail saw it spit in her face, I'm immediately going to clobber it. I am going to go for non-lethal damage, but I'm going to hurt it.
Cool. I'll say that it's easy enough with him like grappled to just backhand him around the face. You can see the tooth flies from the back. Ah! Okay, I'll tell you everything. I'll tell you everything.
Kyra will just kind of, I assume she's there too, will just like look at him for a moment. Well, if you're talking like that, calm down first. And then just like in Draconic, go, Nikiri. Please.
Incredible. Command, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Oh, you just, yeah, okay, cool. What is the spell save?
Wait, hang on. Let me see if I have that prepared first, actually. 'Cause
Good question.
I don't. I don't have it.
He
damn
is
it.
very much terrified of you all at this point anyway, so he just kind of yes. Okay, right. So what do you want to know? I'll tell you everything.
Well,
So,
First
I
off,
don't understand the word people are saying.
your camp. How many are there?
okay. Well, the entire gathered force, of course. Probably
Numbers,
about...
Rob.
Right now, maybe 80 to 100.
Okay.
Amassed forces of the masters and the hired hands and the other kobolds and the mercenaries and the hunters.
What's the biggest thing there? The most dangerous thing there?
Well, that would be Master Langdrosa, of course.
So it is there. Quill.
Have you seen the dragon?
The lords of this world need not busy themselves with the whims of us insects. I'd assume he's returned to his
Just answer
throne
the
within his
question.
lair. No.
Okay. All right.
Quill, you seem quite fitting for situations like these, especially with what happened in the church. Do you have any further questions? Because right now I'm blinded with rage. I can't think of any.
I'll say this, if you keep heading towards the camp, the rear guard's going to slaughter you before you get within a mile.
I'll put my hand on Rael's shoulder and say, "Come on, my friend, let's take a little walk. I've got you."
Thanks, friend, and I'll head
Quill's
off.
Quill's gonna then just ask the kobold as well and say, "You were given orders to hold a defensive perimeter. Where was the troop planning to move next?"
Well, we were to stay here, pick off any easy prey, and chase any more severe prey towards the rear guard. If you keep heading up this road, there's a small canyon. There's about 40 of our men, 20 on each side, ready to pelt down a rain of hellfire to anyone who steps foot. If it was me, I'd take the long way around. Then you'll completely miss the rear guard.
I'm
Do I
going to
believe
decide
him
that,
at all? Yeah.
Roll an insight check.
Also, I am going to use my tactical assessment maneuver on this one. So whenever I make an intelligence investigation, intelligence history, or wisdom insight check, I can expend 1 superiority die and add the superiority die to the ability check.
You may have to, buddy. I got a 12 insight.
Cool.
What's my insight? So that's 19, 23, 28.
Cool.
Whoa.
Damn.
You get the impression, not only from
You
this
read all his
kobold,
thoughts.
but from what you know of kobolds, they're not a very intelligent species. Often what happens is they will tell you, if they're pushed into a corner, they'll tell you anything they want to know in an effort of self-preservation. You get the sense that he is being genuine. He's just maybe flapping his tongue so much because he's trying to talk his way into a situation where he can survive this encounter.
Okay, so we know the back way. We know the location of the camp.
And how many people are in there?
How many is in the rear guard?
The rear guard, 40, 20 on each side of the canyon. Although they're mostly just the mercenaries that have been hired, as is most of the force at the camp. Mercenaries and hunters.
Are these other kobolds or are these...
No, humans.
Here's a question. Where were they found? I'm guessing all over, but there must be specific locations that you're aware of.
Vilka, I will give you this, as you're probably the most versed in this style of things. Generally, jobs that are passed around the lower network, sort of the underbelly of cities and civilizations, this, as he sort of mentions mercenaries and hunters and things of that nature, what's probably happened here, a lot of their military force is most likely hired hands. It's most likely people who are being paid to be there and don't have any true allegiance to the cause of what it is that the main group are fighting for. This is a very common practice where organizations will just hire a bunch of mercenaries to use as a makeshift army, as it were.
Do you know, Kobold, what's the next target?
It's just about to go down.
Oh, I don't know. Only the masters know that. They keep it very hush-hush. You never know who's a rat in the camp.
Well,
That's good
well.
information.
you certainly are one, so I understand why they
Actually,
wouldn't
more
tell
of a
you.
canine. Mm.
You are? That's shocking to me, but okay.
Anyone else?
Vilka,
Can we
I'm
keep
sorry
him?
to interrupt here, but do you understand any of what they're saying? I mean, this is a very complicated conversation by the sounds of things.
Not really, to be honest. Is this all in Draconic?
I was
I thought it
assuming
was
so.
just-
Is the whole conversation in Draconic?
Oh,
at this point?
I'll probably say that when Quill dropped the mask, it moves to common.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I
understand this.
Ah,
Yeah.
that's why I haven't really been
Okay.
pitching in
Yeah.
here because I thought, oh,
That's absolutely
I
fine.
mean,
Cool.
Kyra knows Draconic, but I don't know about and Quill.
I think it's only Nebulon and maybe Vilka that doesn't speak Draconic.
I think it's just us two, I think.
I spoke to it in common.
Yeah, Serena, Quill, and Kyra know Draconic.
cool.
Well, if there are
Oh.
no more questions, Vilka.
I'm free to go.
No,
Oh, hold
guys,
on.
we should keep him. Maybe
Well-
we can use him for other tasks.
Well,
Because he hasn't done
I-
anything to us.
I wouldn't worry about that.
Well.
I'll sort of crouch down over to this cobalt. And I'll say, so, you know how you mentioned that there was a rat in the camp? Yes?
Yes.
That rat is now you, my friend. I'll sort of pat him on the cheek. You realize you've just told us everything. And in that case, if we do let you go, you're probably going to be killed by everyone. And remember, they can definitely read your thoughts, correct? No?
Roll a persuasion check
Did you
with
not know
advantage.
that?
Amazing.
Okay, with advantage, I'll take the 15 on the dice plus... Am I proficient with persuasion? I am. 21.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, by the gods, I've really made a bungle of this, haven't I?
Tell me, listen, I'll sort of just like press on both his shoulders now. Just, what's your name? Tell me.
My name's Floon.
Right, Foon. Wow.
Floon. F-L-O-N.
That's blonde.
I'm glad you can spell that. Listen, Floon, I'd like you to do something for me, please.
Yes.
You just sort of, I'll sort of point towards the nearest tree and I'll say, run away. Run that way. And know this, you can try to kill us now, at which point you will probably die. Or
No,
you can go
almost
back and tell your friends we're
certainly.
here, at which point you will definitely die. Or you can flee. Get out of here. Live a life. Try and make better choices.
Before you can even finish that sentence, he is full dashing in the opposite direction away from you.
Just like
And I
let him go.
I turn to Nebulon and I go, thanks for making it a game. And I release my crossbow bolt straight into the back of the cobalt.
Oh my god.
Roll an
Oh
attack.
my god.
I mean,
Does anyone want to stop? Does anybody want? Is anyone going to try and stop this or no?
I'll probably try and
I-
attempt to intercede and just point blank. and
I
go,
will
"Move it."
tackle Rail.
Okay.
no.
Anyone? So who wants to try? Who's going to try and stop Rail here? Hands up.
I'm gonna fucking.
I'll try
Okay,
to bat his hand away.
Rail, Nebulon, and Serena. Roll initiative.
Oh,
See who acts
Oh my
first.
God.
dirty 20. 17 plus 3.
17.
My initiative was a 1 and I have a +4.
Aww.
No.
Incredible.
Sucks
So-
to be you.
You guys notice Rail sort of like lifts the crossbow in place. You hear the hammer sort of like click into place, and you both have a moment to act right now.
Well, I'll sort of first. I think what I'll sort of do is I'll step in front casually, so he's now aiming at my chest, and I'll sort of give him a judgmental look and sort of like I won't say a word. I'll just look him dead in the eye.
I'll straight up tackle him with my very weak body. And
Just for,
Serena
just for the sake of it, roll an opposed athletics check, Rail and Serena.
I have a +0 to this, so
Oh, this
just
should be fun.
wait.
Athletics,
Oh,
I have a
I rolled-
+7. Go
You
ahead.
say yours first.
Okay, mine was a 17.
18. With a +0, motherfuckers.
Incredible. So I'll say
I
this.
body this bitch.
With every ounce of your strength, Serena, as you sort of like tackle Rail, it's less of a full-on rugby tackle like you intend, and you're kind of taken aback by the weight of the armor in place. What you do manage to do is sort of knock the arm to the side, and the crossbow falls to the floor, and Rail sort of like takes a step back. Nebula
I would like to
standing
call
right with him.
myself as well.
Yeah, I'll just lock eyes.
Yeah,
and say,
you can absolutely, and you sort of like trip over behind him as it's happening.
What are you guys doing?
You don't
This
need
is
to
not
kill
the
that
one you want to kill.
Trust me.
They
That's
need to all die.
No.
Every one of them.
He's just
I know
like
you
a
feel-
little. He has no power.
He definitely deserves to die, but
So he should.
I think, but
If
what we have done
he's-
instead, he's never going to trouble anyone again. I think we've scared him for life. And that is a life we do not need to take. And think about it this way. Killing the cultists, if we could stop the cultist movement, that is just as good as killing them, than killing them. We don't need to take every life. Those we do, we must,
No.
but he was defenseless. And it
I
would not seem right.
go into my coin purse and I pull out the list of all of those who fell in greenest, and I hand it to you. If that is your belief, but these are the people that fell. I do this for them.
If I were to ask them, could they look that kobold in the eye, defenseless, and kill them? Would they? For their own life? I doubt they would.
That's what they did to them. Everyone in greenest pillaged, destroyed, split in half, fire, burned them, the buildings collapsed
Braille.
on them.
Roll a wisdom saving throw for me, please.
Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh shit. That is a 8.
Cool.
Oh.
As you're sort of spewing all of this vitriol, you unconsciously feel your hand clench into a fist. Your arm starts to sort of like shake. I'll say Nebulon, you sort of like take notice of this. You don't launch a strike, but you're like on the precipice of it, Rail.
I'll look down to the fist and look up to you. That is why we've got to be better than them. We cannot afford to stoop to their level. I
I'd
hear
like
what
to
you're
grab.
saying,
Oh,
but... Sorry, go on.
oh no, I was just gonna say I want to grab Rail's hands and just like try and make him aware of the clenched fists and
I'll
try
say
and loosen
that
it
you-
a bit.
I'll say that you do. I'll say that as you're saying this, Nebulon, Serena, you sort of like just grab Rail's hand, clasp it in two hands, and then Rail, all of a sudden, you sort of like just shake yourself into this consciousness.
Alright.
You deserve your revenge, and I want to help you with it, but not against this guy. He didn't choose to do any of this. It's just a little minion. He's been ordered to do things, or he will get killed. I think he won't be a threat to anyone now. This is his chance at doing something better, perhaps. I don't think it will help you either, to be honest.
No.
Vilka would just look over at all of you that have been, like, getting your heads all hot about letting it live or not. I will just say this. I am not in the habit of releasing a cat I know can scratch my face. And he will look over to Rail, and he will just
Rail
simply
kicks you the
nod.
crossbow.
But I am not in a habit either to spend time on petty lives. I would have killed the kobold as well, but what is done is done. The cat is released, so we should move on now. And just hope we are not going to regret it.
That wasn't a cat. That was a mouse at best.
And
If it helps
He
you
was a
to
religious
believe,
fanatic.
if it helps you to believe that, then I hope someday I would believe as well.
By the time this
I-
conversation's finished, I presume that the kobold is out of sight anyway.
Indeed. And you guys see the sun begins to set over green fields, casting this sort of like dull orange, pink, and purple glow.
With, I'm guessing that Serena is still very much keeping my hands in one place, and I'm going to think back to the keep when she was, you know, looking after the kids, and just thinking, why did I want to kill that guy so bad? All right, we'll carry on. Forget
What's the
about
plan,
this
guys?
It's getting dark. We could settle for the
Is
night,
it?
but a little. The sun is beginning to set. I believe we have about 4-5 hours tops. We could press on,
camp.
or we
Press
could
on
stop.
as far as we can. I think.
So you guys know you're about 4 miles from the camp, so probably another couple of hours to travel. But you can probably make it there before full sunset.
And
So
But what are we
the
gonna
whole
do at the
camp, you
camp?
said, where there's like about 100 enemies there.
Correct. So I will say this: you guys now know that on the main path leading towards the camp, there is a rear guard. So there is a
Yeah.
sort of like canyon trap that's been set. You guys roughly know where it is and where to avoid, should you want to avoid it, or should you want to try a similar tactic to what you did just try. You do know that whoever's there, as the cultist mentioned, is a dragon claw, which is the same rank as Rendigan, the persona you took, Quill, and would likely know him.
Yeah. Quill would very much argue for avoiding the ambush entirely. He thinks we were here to get reconnaissance, information, and intelligence on the camp. Let's take the long roads, get to the camp, scope out what we can see. We're not here to fight a war.
We can't take
I-
everyone
Yeah.
on. We'll have to go stealth.
Agreed.
Right now, we just need as much information as we can gather as possible. The objective is not to destroy the camp. We would not be able to do it with so few numbers, but knowledge is power in this sense, and if we can get an accurate reading of exactly how many there are, what their attacks can do to other things except for greenness, and see if we can find some sort of information on the next attacks and try to get out warning before, it happens again.
I think we should not engage with the camp. It is too dangerous. And
I agree.
as much as I believe in your
Vilka has
capacity, Quill, I do not think this luck will reproduce itself.
Do you think there's merit to scoping out and see if we can find anything out, or is it too risky? Should we go
I'm
seek
more interested in this rat.
markers?
if
But how are we going to find them?
Dangle some cheese.
But like
that
practically.
and smell, Kyra will look down at Leor if needed.
I'm sure we'll be able to find something else, at least close to the camp. Heck, maybe if we can find out anything about their supply lines, any form of information will be useful. If we can get some inkling of where they're storing the kobold now. He mentioned a trove. There are a lot of questions to be asked, and I want
I will
answers.
say this, they do not know our face. We were right to stay well hidden. Apart from a few kobolds that we let go, none of them know our faces. Maybe we can pretend we are mercenaries, but it might not work twice.
That is a brilliant idea, Vilka.
They are hiring a lot of
point.
mercenaries. Maybe there will be some incoming flow into the camp of people we can try to hide amongst. And he would turn around to Kira and Serena. Not all of us look the part.
Does someone have a
We
cape?
have-
can cover my very Bahamut-themed outfit.
And I mean,
Well,
if I
has
could
a
turn off my
disguise
hair,
kit,
I would.
If you want to spend
We'll
some
make
time
you a
with a
bonnet.
disguise kit, Quill, seeing what you can do with Kyra and Serena, you're welcome to do so.
Well, he's not proficient in it, he just has one, so I can give you a disguise, just not a very good one.
Let's see what. Let's
I'm sorry,
see
but
how
I
good
don't
it
want
is.
to risk.
Incredible. So I will give Kyra and Serena, I'm going to give you both the opportunity to roll a flat performance check.
Wait, we are. But he's performing on us, isn't he?
Oh
That
no!
sounds weird.
What this is? How well do you take to the performance? Quill's a master of disguise. He
How
doesn't even
well
need the
do you
disguise kit to do
Okay,
Yeah, but
so
he
you're
disguises
rolling.
us, right?
Oh no! You're rolling this performance check. Serena and Kyra, give me a performance check.
But I have a +0. Oh no, I rolled a 2.
That's the.
I rolled a 2 as well.
We suck.
Quill, as you sort of like begin to try to like dirty them up a bit, you attempt to try and make Serena's tusks look a little bit more jagged, maybe ruffle up her hair a little bit, try and put some black under
How
the
do you make
eyes.
them look more jagged?
They, both Kyra and Serena look more like teenagers going through a phase than dangerous mercenaries or cultists.
And I don't think anyone has
out
a
of this
mirror.
phase already.
I mean,
Well, guys,
Well, maybe we should stay back then. Let some other people do some of the
I was saying,
scouting.
perfect. You look just the
I-
part. Well done. Oh,
Nebulon.
Nebulon's never seen a mercenary in his life.
And Kyra just like looking at him. You don't have to lie. I look terrible.
Listen.
How do we know, actually? Do we have mirrors in this world? Or are we just, like, trusting each other?
You're looking in a nearby stream at the running water. It looks okay to you, Serena.
Hey, I
Kyra's
think
hair
this
is
works.
slowly starting to like build up. Like
I'm gonna
slightly,
look over at
slightly
Quill.
I'm gonna
angered.
sprinkle some water on it, try to douse it.
That just
I
makes
have
it worse.
water. No!
I'm just sort of gonna like pull you over for a sidebar. Quill, could I have a quick chat, please?
Yes, of course.
I want you to be honest with me, like brutally honest, okay? Do I look intimidating? Honestly.
I mean, you're so tall.
You look at this sort of starlight elf who like has these bright, hopeful eyes and this flowing purple hair and this sort of like nice violet skin, looks fresh-faced and just so
Dewy.
very, very wistful and dewy.
Do I look intimidating? Honestly?
I think you are. You would be part of a niche mercenary company.
But remember, everyone looks at him from an angle like this, so he might look pretty intimidating.
I will say this. Nebulon probably looks strange enough to the average person that it'd be weird. He's probably going to get some stares, but he could be a very eccentric spellcaster. Kyra and Serena look like very innocent.
This is
Hey, I've
this
seen
is
some
what
shit.
Milka was going for. Like, no
Like,
matter how you look,
things.
like you guys look like you're so sweet.
And
Nebulon looks just weird enough that it might work if he's with the other, like the rest of you, like you, Rail, and Vilka. Kyra and Serena might be harder to pass as anything other than like maybe prisoners.
But that's what.
Quill's gonna go to Nebulon and he's gonna cast prestidigitation and use it to soil some of the clothes a little bit, just dirt it up a little, maybe look a little bit tone and rolling, and much better, you're now
Right.
rugged
Perfect.
outdoors in the wilderness. I'll
Okay,
never see
great.
you coming.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
There is also one glaring issue if we're doing this. Look at my armor.
Oh.
So I'll say this, Quill, your armor is a tabard over the armor. If you were to just take off the tabard, it's just like plate mail armor underneath.
What, mine? Or...
Oh, you're wearing plate mail?
Yeah. Is it plate mail or is it chain mail that you're
it's
wearing?
chainmail.
Chainmail. It's just a tabard, so you can easily take the tabard off, and it's just a standard set of chainmail.
Amazing. In that case, I will take my tabard off and I will hand it over to Quill.
Okay.
Just hold on to.
Maybe we can use it as a bandana to hide some of Nebulon's like super fancy hair that glows in the dark.
I wish I could turn it off, but I think this is pretty much what it is.
You guys are
Nebulon,
so bright.
I'll try and maybe.
I think we're in the same boat here, because my hair, and just gesturing to it, will not turn off.
You guys
Oh my
could
God.
look the part as
Unless I sleep.
prisoners.
Guys, if you had children, what would happen to their hair?
I don't.
Sorry,
know
what was
think.
that? What was that, Vilka?
Stop shipping stuff!
Hey, new
Tyra.
Silent bitch, there's a stream right there.
What was that from you, Vilka? Sorry, I missed
I
that.
was gonna make, because you mentioned... Now that I see it now. All you can look at is maybe a bunch of prisoners, but that is a very dangerous idea.
I'll just sort of tie my hair back. Try and put it into like a ponytail or something.
And Kyra will
Okay.
look at Serena and go, well, since you asked the question, I think I'll answer it as brutally honestly as I can. Ask my mother.
To be fair, thinking
I'm
about
processing.
the way the party is, we have an incredible scout in Nebulon, especially with your familiar. You can see things and pass the information on to the other pair.
Wait, Kyra
if
can
we
do
went
that
in.
too, actually.
Oh, can you?
I
Yeah,
can,
Kyra has familiar.
Leor.
Oh, amazing! I didn't know all
you
familiars
guys
were
can
the same. It's the first time I've ever seen one. Well,
He mostly helps with my spells and, well, potions when I make them on rare occasions. I think the only time he's ever spied on somebody was back when
I'll say you
was
guys are having this conversation as you are walking the long way around.
Yeah.
It's
So,
back when I was in school. So.
It might be a good idea for you pair to sit outside with Serena, send your familiars in, and try to find out.
If you want, you
information
can bring me in as a prisoner. I'm from a family who probably goes against the ideals of this cult, so it might make sense to.
It means you would be even more in danger.
I don't want to do that to you.
We would
That's-
be just
But
mercenaries.
you keep me
No
safe.
ranks for us. Which means that if they want to take you someplace else in the camp, we wouldn't be able to stop them, and then we would break our disguise.
He's
Okay.
right.
Vilka's right.
She is correct.
Yeah, Vilka is correct.
Okay, I guess I'll watch the people who will be like mentally somewhere else. So
Thank you.
It would
I,
be good
if
for
you
another pair of
run-
eyes if they are in the clouds, so to speak.
indeed.
that is true.
And
I can
And
help
if
with
I
you
was
need
gonna
to
say,
run,
me
then you
right.
would be
But you'll
there
need to
for
fill me in
us.
on everything afterwards,
Of
please.
course.
We will.
I have mad FOMO right now.
Kyra just like offering a hug. Come here. And pat.
Incredible.
It's my
So-
hair that'll hurt you, not my skin. I promise. It's just the hair.
Okay.
As you guys crest
hair's
the
everywhere.
long side, as you guys crest the long side of the canyon, eventually day turns to night, and as the moon rises and darkness falls, you can see down a lower slope what begins to very gently rise. Stone and shadow. You guys see a rugged plateau jutting from the earth like some broken tooth of an ancient beast. You can see this plateau is shaped roughly like a horseshoe, with the arms curving inwards, sort of forming this natural enclosure. You can see the lower slopes sort of rise gently to begin with, worn smooth by time and weather, but then begin to steepen into jagged cliffs that climb nearly 150 feet above the surrounding plains. You can see great boulders which have tumbled from the heights and now lie in jumbled heaps at the base. And within the hollows of the plateau, nestled between the rocky arms, you can see mismatched colourful tents, rough canvas enclosures, gathered around smoky cook fires. You can see crude wooden stakes and makeshift barricades ring the camp's outer edges. You can see the ground is uneven but easily navigable, strewn with dry grass and patches of scrubby brush. And as the sound of the camp begins to hit you, you guys can hear distant voices, a sharp bark of orders, a clatter of metal. You can see people sort of like moving in and out, and you can see that the canyon towards the south, one that you guys sort of avoided, there seems to be like smatterings of people as you watch. A group of maybe 10 people walk in, escorted by a caravan, then a few stragglers. It seems like people are very, very slowly filing back into the camp.
Okay, so I'm assuming then the plan is myself and Kyra will zone in to our familiars. Serena, you're going to watch over us, correct?
I'll watch your bodies.
Okay,
Hopefully
appreciate that.
That's not creepy at all.
Oh.
Of course.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I have Spare the Dying with me in case you pass out. And,
Great.
I packed it in my arsenal of skills I have.
Good to know.
I know, right?
Kyra, question. You're familiar.
Yes.
Can it fly?
Not in this form, no.
Right. In that
Can it
case,
ride on the
save-
back?
Yeah, like we could do one of two
Please.
things here.
Please
I could
try
have
it.
Luminari attempt to carry. Remind me of your familiar's name again. It was Lior.
I think.
No?
Yes.
Right. Well, in that case, I could carry Lior, or you could have Lior perhaps fit himself inside one of the compatriots' pockets, maybe. Eyes in the sky and on the ground.
Well, remind me again. How much can an owl carry?
I mean, I'm not sure. Luminari, would you like to try to
Google.
see Luminari?
Can an
just jump
owl
off the
carry a
top?
fox?
I'm actually genuinely curious if they can, like in
I
real
don't
I
know.
will
life.
Google it right now.
How much could an eagle owl
You're
carry?
familiar?
Yeah.
Less than £5. However,
Then no.
I believe Luminari, Lior, what kind of creature is he in your mind? Is he an elemental? Is he a fae? Is he celestial? What is Lior?
I was thinking either infernal or elemental.
Incredible. I think that makes total sense. Let's say
Luminari is celestial.
So,
Oh, brilliant.
incredible. So what's the plan, guys?
Quell's going to, before I forget, disguise self into essentially a version of Velka with slightly different colouring, slightly different hair colouring, scars in a different place. So Quellca's in disguise.
Quilka.
Incredible.
Mercenary.
I'm gonna put my hood up and prepare for this, and I turn around to both Quill and Vilka and I say, so, what? I'm guessing you pair might have a bit more expertise in this with me. Do we take some out and try to slot in their place, or do we just try and join the herd that is gathering and going back into the camp?
Quellca will just defer to Velka.
Quilka.
Shut up!
The ship names. The ship names. I swear.
I would say this.
But it's so catchy, guys. It rolls right off the tongue.
So we got Quilka, and then you said something about Nebulon and Kyra, apparently, I think, earlier. What is that?
Nebula. No,
Oh,
it's
that's
just the hair.
cute.
It would be fascinating.
It would be, honestly.
So
Guys, I'm
Kyra
not
and
mental.
Serena, go ahead as you guys sort of break off from the group. I'll say that you sort of find like a rocky cavern buried in the side of the plateau, and you guys sort of like nestle yourselves in there. Both of you give me stealth checks, please.
Wait, is it Kyra and Serena, not also Nebulon, or?
Is Nebulon, are you going or are you staying?
Yes, I'm effectively staying with these two, and I'm going to roll back into...
Split the party!
Yeah,
That's
split the
fun.
party, damn!
Oh, goody
Sorry, was
gumdrop.
this
Kyra, Serena, and Nebulon, give me stealth checks as you guys bury yourselves in a little cavern on the side of the plateau.
Please.
8.
12.
I've been rolling trash.
Stealth. 11 from me.
Cool.
The average of that is 10 and a half, so...
Holy hell.
And Quill, Rail, and Vilka, as you guys make your way towards the plateau, you sort of join a caravan of around 6 other bandits heading into camp. They're a few feet ahead of you. You see they speak with a guard who lets them pass through. You can see that there's this jagged, sort of like defensible spiked fence that's been erected in a sort of opening of this horseshoe plateau. You can see 2 guard towers, each of which has 2 or 3 cultists on top of it. In addition, what appeared to be 2 dragon mask acolytes standing vigil at the gate, in addition to a further 5 cultists. You see, as they pass the first set of bandits through, they look over towards you.
As we was walking up as well, I would have given Quill a quick nudge and was like, "You're a lot more silver-tongued than I am. Do you want to take this one?"
Yeah, Quill will agree, and you say, "Not a problem. Watch how it's done."
I'll give him a quick
With a dead,
smirk
arrogant,
and
cocky attitude.
absolute quick smirk from Rail there.
And as we're walking as well, Vilka would turn to Rael and say, "Would you be able to keep your fury to yourself for just a little while?"
It would be unwise with this many people around, so absolutely. Angry, yes.
You see one of the acolytes steps forward at this point. Hold! What business have you here?
Quilka is going to kind of step forward and he's going to say, "We are part of the Broken Scabbard mercenary company. Just finished our tour in the desert of Kalafsham, and we've heard you guys are looking to buy some sword. We're here to make some money. Move on up."
Roll a deception check for me, please, Quill.
This bitch is so smart, what the fuck?
Oh, he's so good at deception.
Bro.
Yeah, don't jinx it! Don't jinx it!
Oh yeah, right. Sure.
What was that, Quill?
24.
I see. And your number, are you all martial fighters?
Get
We
the
are.
nod from Rail.
Blades? Good. Okay. Right. Follow me. You see he turns and enters into the camp.
Quill kind of turns around and winks at Rail before following on.
I
You
just
see
had
a
a
few of the
You shit?
cultists
No.
look over.
No.
Watch as a few of the cultists watch as you pass through the perimeter. As you enter in, you can see a large cabal of people here. And one thing that catches all of your attention is it very much seems partially segregated. You can see as you walk into your immediate right, there appears to be a rather large encampment of kobolds. Most of the actual bandits and cultists have made their camp on the other side. You can see a singular kobold who's currently on a fire spit, still conscious, screaming as a few of the cultists are going. And you can see some of the kobolds shooting dirty looks over, but clearly too scared to move. The acolyte leads you to a tent just to the south of the immediate fence, and you can see as he enters inside, he takes a seat at a small desk and opens a ledger. Okay, Broken Scabbard Mercenary Company. Date of service, Eliant 11. Okay, and in terms of your general capacity, assassinations, shakedowns, thievery, are you happy to kill innocents when necessary?
No one's innocent if they stand in the way of our gold.
You see, he smirks under the mask. Preach,
Bro.
brother. Okay, the going rate right now is 10 gold pieces per day, with an additional fee of 20 gold pieces per raid. You are not to take any treasure from the raids yourself. However, should you find anything with a monetary value less than 10 gold pieces, you may keep one trinket to yourself. Is this agreeable?
Understood. These terms are acceptable.
Good. You will be in encampment C. You will find it towards the bottom left-hand corner, and you see he sort of draws your attention over towards a camp. If you want to take a look over, you can see gathered around what appears to be a large faction of what look like almost ranger types. You can see that they're wearing sort of like leather armor, slightly feathered. A few of them are fetching arrows sort of around a campfire. You can see a large wagon with various sort of like bleeding out animal carcasses sort of like hanging from it in place. Welcome. I'm sure you'll find out your time here to be very fruitful. You see, he sort of like stands up, offers each one of you a hand one by one.
Yep. Quill shakes hand. No problem.
Feel free to find a place. Feel free to find a place to lay your head for the evening if you are weary. Incredible.
Can Nebulon, through the eyes of Luminari, what I would have done is send Luminari like very much bird's eye view, so high up that they can see a perfect kind of proper bird's eye view of the scenario to try and get a picture of how many numbers we're dealing with currently.
Absolutely, and I'll say Luminari gets a decent view of what is currently being shown on Roll20 in terms of numbers.
I was going to say, like, am I permitted then to effectively check
Absolutely,
the entire...
yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
Absolutely,
so in that case,
yes.
Yeah, all right, what I'll do then is just as a sort of like get a full idea of the numbers, I'll roll my eyes back into myself, and as I see Quill, would you say they're about 120 feet away from me? Can I have a measure that actually?
Yeah, probably somewhere around that.
Oh, they're 105 feet, perfect. At which point, I'll sort of like as I'm sitting up, I'll check and I'll see is Kyra also unconscious or blinded?
Yeah,
death?
I'll say that Leor's kind of skirting the perimeter of the camp, sort of like boots on the ground, while Luminari's flying overhead, probably.
Perfect. I'll command Luminari to continue doing so, and I'll pull out a very small copper wire and I'll wrap it between my hands, and I'll cast message. It sort of glows with a hint of starlight, and I'll message Quill directly, along with I'll probably send separate messages to Rail and to Vilka, and I'll explain a little bit of detail about the numbers that I can see from here, and that engaging this will end in disaster. Just to let you all know, you're fucked if you try to fight here. There are too many. But I should say this right now, in terms of the camp itself, from what I can see, there are there are a mass group of kobolds, at least 20, down by a fire pit on the left, and then also sort of go into detail explaining where the tents are roughly, and that there's a large red tent down towards the far right-hand side of the camp, or at least for their perspective, the deepest part into camp. And there's
Absolutely,
also
and I'll say, a cavern entrance. I believe you were about to say a cavern entrance next to the red tent. Yeah. Correct. I was about to say this is what you guys see, but now you know.
Perfect. And once I've relayed that, I'll then sort of like, you'll see the sort of copper. I think only you would see this around it. I'll sort of, the copper wire dissipates, and I'll pop it back in my pack, and I'll just give you a little salute and just roll my eyes back and go straight back to Luminari again.
Incredible.
We'll keep watching you.
Quill, Vilka, and Rail, can all of you please roll me a d10?
Sure.
Oh, no.
No, that is just ominous.
I do not like rolling dice for you, DM. We know how it ends.
I know. I'm afraid.
Last time didn't go so well. So.
Yeah, last time.
Yeah, oh.
This time is not well either. I got a 1.
Oh.
I have it too.
I got an 8.
Incredible.
I hope this is how many
As you
enemies
guys-
there are on camp.
As you guys are sort of like exiting out of the tent, you see the acolyte goes back towards the fence, and at this point, you guys now see an individual emerging from the fire pit. much like the dragon claw armor you'd seen previously, this gentleman is wearing significantly more dramatic. You can see the sort of like shoulder pads of the sort of plate mail armor wickedly curved much further up, almost sort of like hitting like eye line at this point. You can see at his side he has this sort of like insane sort of like half dragon head helmet. It almost looks like what you would expect the skull of a dragon to look like, but made out of this sort of like gunmetal plate mail armor. You can see that he's got this sort of like long, dark auburn hair tied into a tight ponytail, these thick eyebrows and intense sort of like deep brown eyes and this thick sort of like beard set in place. You can see he rounds, looks over at all of you and approaches you. Hello. I'm assuming you're new recruits? Good. I have need of your services. You see he looks over all of you. Drow! Turns towards you, Vilka.
Yes.
I'll need you to go and tend to the Drake pen.
Of course. So.
You see he looks at you, Quill. You. I need you to go and rough around the kobolds a little bit. They're getting a bit too big for their boots. They've been stealing food from the stores. Kill one or two of them, kick around a few others.
Said or done.
Incredible. And you say he looks towards you, Rael, and you. Madam Mondath is busy in the nursery. So, I'll need you to go and continue interrogation of the prisoners.
Happily, sir.
You'll find them in the tent towards the southeast. In fact, come with me, I'll show you right now. And you see he sort of like points over, directs you towards the kobolds, Quill. And yourself, Vilka, you're sort of like escorted over to the Drake pen towards the south, right next to the
Drake
tent.
on the map earlier. I was like, I hope I'm not gonna have to go near that.
You in particular, Rael, if you can see the ping I'm about to put on the map, are escorted over to a large cabal of cultists, and you can see these sort of like octagonal tents, sort of like towards the back end. So, we'll go one by one. First things first.
No. Party split again.
You guys are all sent on your separate ways. I'll say that you also like give each other a look. Quill, you sort of like wander over to the kobolds. Vilka, you wander down to the Drake pens. But first things first, Rael. You see the veteran sort of like escorts you over, and you can see a bunch of the dragon claws look over towards you. And you see the veteran sort of turns at that point. Tell me, how fine can you make a slice?
Pretty fine, sir.
Good. So, the gentleman in tent A, we've been cutting his carotid arteries one by one. Most of the important ones that follow his limbs, we have reason to believe he's some sort of monastic traditional fighter. So, we've been disabling his feet and hands. Shouldn't be too much of a problem then. But we've had a recently new acquisition. Now, before anything, I want you to find out what he knows. Specifically, about a hoard of wealth in the city of Waterdeep.
I can do that.
It's supposed to be supposedly a vault somewhere in the city. Get it out of him. Don't rough him up too much. That'll come tomorrow. You see he directs you towards a tent. Have at it. And he hands you a silver dagger.
I take the silver
Is it
dagger
wickedly curved?
and I get out my two
It's
wickedly curved blades as well, and I put them on and said, I'm ready. I carry on through.
I'll say as you sort of like pass the canvas of the tent, you enter into a sort of like moldy and dusty tent. You can see two lanterns sort of like burning on the floor of what's now a haze-ridden sort of chamber. You can see a single pillar in the center of the room, tied to which you can see a humanoid. Looks human in nature. You can see he's shirtless and wearing a set of what look like almost like leather pantaloons that sort of like puff out the side with these sort of like very expensive looking red leather boots. You can see that he's very, very much like skinny. He has this sort of like pale, pasty white skin, a very like thin, gaunt face. To some maybe handsome, to some maybe a little bit weedy, as it were. He's got this sort of like fiery red bushy hair and these sort of like bright green eyes. You can see he has hands bound above his sort of like head, and he goes, "Please, I will tell you anything, I promise. Just don't hurt me. My father, he has a lot of money. He can give you anything he wants. Anything you want, please."
And who's your father?
Lord the Gulf Ember. He's the open lord of Neverwinter, and until very recently, also the open lord of Waterdeep. You are in the presence of the most illustrious prince of Neverwinter, Renar Neverember. It's very nice to meet you. Now, as I say, we can make a deal here, my friend. I'm sure that you would love some money. Money, right? Everybody loves money. You can see the eyes sort of like widen.
Is there anyone else in this tent?
Currently, no. There are people outside, but you could be hushed.
And I go and I whisper in his ear. I am Rail Dawnspring. I used to work in Neverwinter. We've snuck in. Don't raise your voice unless I tell you to. Scream in pain, okay? And I immediately, not now, you blithering idiot! Shut up!
Now?
No! I immediately fucking, I gave him one.
Please, my face is so gentle. My defined cheekbones.
That's when you need to scream.
Not the face, please, not the face. My cheekbones are very, very frigid. They're like glass.
Look, I know who you are.
Of course you do. My father's the most wealthy man in the realms.
I don't want to, but I'm going to have to try and get you out of here one way or another. You do realise this, right?
Oh, please. I promise you I can give you whatever you want. You look like a man who's into very expensive food and clothes, right? I can get you a house. I have a very nice villa in the city of Waterdeep. I'd be happy to let you lease a bedroom for half price.
What an offer.
Shut up. just shut up.
Right, of course.
Right. I take it that you are pretty good at listening. How long have you been here?
About an hour.
An hour. Have you heard anything in this said hour?
Well, one guy said that he was going to skin me from the nipples down.
If you keep screaming like that, it's going to make him want to do it more, so shush. Okay?
But it seems like such an impractical way to skin somebody.
That's
you know what I mean?
the
Like...
The point is pain, my friend. Right. They need to know information. The vault.
Right.
In Waterdeep.
The Vault of Dragons, yes, of course.
The Vault of Dragons.
Of course. I know where it is. Of course I do. Father told me. I've been there all the time. I go there all the time.
What you're going to do is you're going to give me a close location. Not the exact location, but enough to put them, if they go searching for it, something to give us time.
I'm going to be 100% real. I don't know where it is. Father doesn't tell me anything.
That doesn't surprise me either for some reason. So, we need to come up with a way for you to produce useful information, and then hopefully they won't kill you immediately.
Right, okay.
Is there...
Maybe we can sell out one of the nearby towns. You're from around here, right? You must know one that doesn't have any kind of defenses. That'd be easy. They'd be so busy over there raiding and pillaging that we can get out safely.
Clobbered.
Ah! I hear Nashgel down south is pretty undefended. They've been so busy warring with Arm that maybe it'd be good.
You do realise that the whole point of this is to save everyone, not to throw anyone else under the pile.
Yes,
right?
but it's obviously more important for people like me to survive than for peasants who work the mines to survive.
I immediately punch him again.
Ah!
There we go. Keep that sound
Listen,
up.
we're friends now, right? Which means that you're a higher class individual than most people, right? I'll hire you to be my bodyguard. How about that? If you get me out of here alive, I'll give you a constant wage. I'll give you 10 gold pieces a 10 day. It's a gold piece a day. That's more than anybody your age in this fucking dead-end area of the world,
Tell you
mate,
what you
right?
can do. If I get you out of this, you get me an audience with your father.
Of course, that'll be easy. Not a problem at all. Now, if you can get me out of here, I'm actually a dab hand with a blade. My father has paid for me to have fencing lessons for the past, 10 years? And I have never lost.
That's because you were made not to lose. Give a few rounds of me and I guarantee I'll put you in your ass.
That is, give me a fencing sword, preferably one that does not have a point because I don't wish to harm you.
You won't.
That's also the
But
blades that
anyway.
I'm used to using.
Of
Yes.
course it is, but so you play a game, not war. Understood. Anyway, what the thing
I
is
wouldn't call
now,
it the game.
It's a game. Let's be honest. It's not real fighting. So what we're going to do is I'm going to rough you up as much as possible, just because of what you said about the other.
Do you have to?
Yes. And
Can you avoid the face? I've got to sit for a portrait. I've got to sit for a portrait
immediate-
next week, and I don't want to, have a black eye or anything like that.
Well, wouldn't it be good for the son of Daggelt Neverember to have war wounds from his brave battle of being trapped in an enemy encampment?
Well, no, because people can't know that I get beaten. People have a perception of me in the city that I'm.
War wound. It's different. Heck, even I'll back you up on that.
Kings don't get wounded. Other people around kings get wounded, protecting the king. That's the whole point of being a king.
You're not a king yet.
Yet.
Daggelt has his work cut out for him by the looks of it. Anyway, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to rough you up. I'm going to give them some information that you're going to provide me, some kind of lie, and you're going to stick to it. No matter what, you're going
Okay.
to stick to the lie. This vault. Let me think. Where in Waterdeep is a pretty somewhere that people don't tend to go as much, somewhere less crowded, somewhere more difficult to get to? I take it you know the city.
Of course I know the city. I have a villa there. Obviously.
Brilliant. It's going to be at your villa. Thank you very much for telling me that.
My villa?
Yes, your
Oh,
villa is
I'm
now.
not having
I do
dirty
not give
men
a shit.
trampling
Where's your
my
villa?
shag
Where's your
carpet.
villa?
I paid a lot of money to import those carpets from Calimsham, I'll have you know.
Look, it's either your life or the villa. Choose now.
I don't want to make this decision!
Well, you have to.
Can't you tell them where you live instead? I'm sure it's a shithole anyway.
I go for a gut punch and then 2 punches to the face.
Please stop.
Bones, no.
I bruise like a peach.
Oh, don't worry. I can see that. But anyway, your villa, where is it?
It's in the North Ward on Belzerin Street.
Amazing.
You can tell because there's a statue of me outside it.
Brilliant. You're going to stick to the story
Stupid.
that this vault
Oh my god.
is on the bottom floor of your villa, hidden under all the floorboards. That you need to
Can I
get out
ask
of.
somebody to take the carpet up from the foyer first?
Well, they're not going to believe it if they see it disturbed.
But it's really expensive.
That's okay. Daggelt has a lot of money he can pay to repair it. Would you rather... Look, if we don't do this, it's going to be more of a problem, so just stick to it. Hopefully they never end up there in the first place. It's only a
Okay.
red herring, okay?
Okay, fine. Are you done roughing me up now? This is good, right? And you can just see that he has one bruise on his shoulder and slightly under his neck.
Is there anything in the room that looks relatively hard? Like a club or,
There's a few bricks lying around that have got dried and matted blood on them.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm not going to use a brick, that's a bit too hard. What I'll do is I will get one of my wickedly curved blades.
Yeah.
That's so wickedly curved.
And what I'm
much
going to
worse.
do is I'm going to gently create little cuts down his arms so it looks like I've been doing more than I have, but enough to see a visible wound.
Incredible. You see, he like screams with pain.
Incredible.
Ah! With each tiny like nick of the blade.
It's literally a tooth. It's literally a paper cut. Like, it's
And
not
he
even
screeches
that
with pain. While this is going on, Vilka, as you head over towards it, you can now see the large, elaborate, red velvet, gorgeous tent. You can see these gold implements all over it. A very familiar symbol of 3 claw strikes and a dragon plastered on the front of it. And you can see a large pen, inside of which are 4 wingless drakes. You can see them all up on their haunches, sort of like screeching around. You can see like raw meat and game has been thrown in there and it's tearing apart into it. You can see 2 what look to be bandits on either side of the fence are sort of like standing vigil. And as you approach, one of them turns and takes off the mask. You can now see what appears to be a sort of high elven looking gentleman, maybe not full high elf, but definitely half. He has a full like long point to the ears, sort of like very scraggle, sort of like almost like a shag wolf cut as it were. And you can see that he has this like single slit in the eyebrow. Looks at you and goes, "Hang on a fucking second. I know you. You used to run with the maestro back in Baldur's Gate. Yeah, you came. I remember. You gave me a right hiding in the docks." Fancy seeing you here. What's up? Well, the Black Elves not paying so good anymore.
You know they never do, people. They never do. Not for the likes of us, eh?
Not you fucking dirty-blooded deep dwellers. As far as I'm concerned, you all need to crawl back into the hole that you all came from.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm here. I just hope, I'll get a quick death. And then maybe I'll get out of your way, but in the meantime, I've been asked to
Yeah.
take care of the drakes.
Yeah. Well, better stay the fuck out of my way. Never know. Might catch a little steal in the night.
I'd love to. What's your tent?
You cute. I'll find you. Don't come looking for me. You see, he grabs a shovel on the side of the fence, shoves it into you. Hi.
Into.
Why don't you go shovel some shit? Should be right up the alley of one like you.
So, though, is he telling me to fuck off, basically?
You see, he sort of like opens the gate, and you can now see the large steaming piles of drake feces, which have been building up in the pen for quite some time.
Vilka will go, and he will start shoveling stuff. And
Cool.
he's gonna shovel a little bit towards the gate, just enough, for it to be noticed and for it to not quite shovel in the way of the guy.
Cool.
And then he's gonna do what he's been told to.
Cool. And you do sort of see he sort of like takes a step backwards to lean the fence, and his boot lands directly in the pile of pieces. And he goes, "Oh, fuck's sake!" You see the other guard goes, "God, Jesus, go and clean yourself up, you fucking ingrate." And the other guy sort of like
Sorry,
trundles away.
Oh, dirty, bloated underweller. Can't shovel for shit. I'll do better next time.
Spits on the ground, gives you a dirty look as he walks towards the tent. Quill, as you approach the kobolds, they sort of like look up at you. You can see that they have what appear to be 3 rats that they're currently roasting on a spit over the fire. You see a few of them sort of like back away from the front of the camp as you sort of like walk towards them.
Quelka's gonna. No problem, bud. Yeah, Quelka's gonna walk up and he's gonna be like, goblins, and he'll notice the rats kind of cooking over the fire, and he'll nod back to the kobold in the kind of camp part, on the other side that's been roasted in the spit, and he's going to say, "Is that a friend of yours?"
Yeah, it is. What the fuck does it mean to you?
I'm now in the camp, and I see these cultists talking down to you, pushing you guys around. What they're doing to him over there. Did you not fight for the army? Do you not have spears, claws, teeth? Do you not have pride?
Of course we have pride. We're here for one reason and one reason alone, and that's to worship the bosses. Lady Resmere, Master Cyanrath. It's in our blood, you see. It's in our blood. You got it.
And I guess you served them well. Where are the masters at the moment?
In the tent. The bald man came into camp and have been there ever since.
And so Quill's gonna say then, the masters, from what I know, the masters value strength, and that's why they come to people like us. They want to see strength proven, especially in their followers. What better way to worship than lusting for blood? Your friend over there is a soldier, and he's in trouble. I see a lot more of you guys than I see of those cultists over there. Maybe your masters would grant a boon at the bravery and violence that you could unleash to free your friend.
Roll a persuasion check, Quill.
Okay,
So I rolled a 12 total, and what I'm going to do is use my knowledge from a past life before finding the result, just to add a d6 on.
What the fuck is that?
+4, okay. So that's 16 total.
You see a few of them sort of like cower backwards. Some of the larger kobolds sort of like at that point start nodding towards each other. You can see about half of the amassed kobolds start nodding. It's what Colonel Mac would want, isn't it? Did he not? Did he not go to war? Did he not fight for the dragons? For our pride? In the name of Colonel Mac, in the name of the Dragon Queen, let's save our friend! And you can see that about half of them draw their swords and rush over. You can see that some of the bandits sort of like turn at that point, look, and just pause with pure shock. You can see the one over the fire starts to tear up a little bit with happiness, and he starts to smile. Let me see.
They're all gonna die.
4, 5, 6,
Well, walks away, whistling nonchalantly.
30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 18. So as the 9 kobolds begin to charge over, you watch as from the guard posts a volley of arrows strike 5 of them dead instantly. The other 4 all turn. You see the bandits sort of laugh and clap. At that point, one of them takes a step forward. You can see the acolyte wearing the dragon mask steps forward, looks at a kobold on the spit, lifts up the boot and just breaks the spit in place as the kobold tumbles into the fire. It's like, yes! screech as the rest of them watch as their friend burns alive. You see, he sort of smiles, and you can just see the grin underneath the mask. Looks over at you, Quill. Oh, that was real clever. That was real clever. Hope the rest of them see what trying to rise against us gets. Boys, why don't you go take these 4 over to the Drake pen? And you can see that the 4 kobolds are dragged by the scruff of their necks over towards the Drake pen. And they're like, no!
Oh, tough break.
As this is happening, so you're watching for about an hour inside of your small little hidey hole. Both Kyra and Nebulon. The two of you probably see most of this unfolding, whether through Lior's eyes, boots on the ground, or whether through Luminari flying overhead. Serena, as you're kind of sat there in silence, looking over both of them, making sure they're good, just hearing the odd babble from each of them. The quiet is broken as you hear the slash of blades as a shrubbery in front of the cave wall is slashed. You see somebody leans down. You can see a heavy iron dragon mask. Well, looky what we got here. Some rats in the hole.
Bro! I was kind of stealthy. I rolled a whole 8.
I rolled a 12.
Well. And you can now hear the sounds of boots as a gathering scouting party of 10 sort of like come up behind him. Boys,
No!
No.
drag him out. I reckon Lady Redsmith's gonna want a word with these little earwiggers. And we'll pick up there next time.
Oh no!
Oh no!